Edited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I
I
love
love
being
being
black.
black.
You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth
And what?
and shame the devil. I
I
love
love
being
being
black.
black.
You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited.
All
Tell the
right, we
truth
back again.
and shame the devil.
Chi-Town Predator.
I love being black.
All right, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm live, uncut, and unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black, black love, black unity, black power. To the last hour, come on in, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. It's where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Y'all been waiting on me, and I've been waiting on you. Lord, bless this broadcast. We bind up every demonic spirit that would try to come against this broadcast. Every unclean spirit and hateful bird, we bind it up right now in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. We we on here, people. We bringing a message. This is this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, people. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Come on in, people. Come on in. All right, we got a full house tonight already. Y'all ready to hear what the man got to say tonight? We're gonna we're gonna tell the truth and shame the devil tonight. We're gonna drive that fox out of the hole. That's what we're gonna do tonight. I plan to drive it out until it have no more life in it. I tell you the truth, people. This thing is real. I tell parents it's real. You better watch your children. You better watch them. You better watch them. You better watch them. I tell you, people, we are our own solution. This is live, uncut, and unedited. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank my YouTube family. I want to thank my Facebook family for coming in and seeing what I got to say. And y'all know I'm going to bring nothing but truth, nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else but truth. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. You can cuss, you can fuss tonight, but we want to hear some truth tonight. Speak truth to power. We got a video, we got an audio tonight, and we want to make sure that all our people be educated, and we want them to know what's going on in the community. This is the title of this broadcast vlog is Chi-Town Predator. Yeah. I should have named it Child Predator, but we'll just say Chi-Town Predator. I tell you, people, this is real. This is real. This is real. This is real. And I'm not playing, people. I tell you, this is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. That's what it is. Make sure you tag your friends, tag your neighbors, inbox your neighbors. We want to thank Twitter X. Those of you on Twitter, make sure that you share this video. You like it. Those of you that is on Facebook, make sure you share this video and like. Share it in your groups or tag someone. Chi-Town Predator. That's what we're talking about tonight. I tell you, this is real. This is real. This is real. I love being black. I love being black. I love being. I love being. I love being. I love being black. Tell the truth. And what? And shame the devil. Tell the truth. And what? And shame the. Tell the truth. What? And shame the devil. All right. To all my well wishes, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being on here tonight. I appreciate you for your support, for your shares of the video. I appreciate all of my professional guests. I want to thank Dr. Z or D. We call her both. We want to thank Helen. I tell you the truth. This is live, uncut, unedited. All right. We doing our thing tonight, and we want to show Timothy what's going on. A brother of mine I've been knowing over 50 years. Hey, Miss Renee, I appreciate you, Miss Renee, JD, Black Power, Sharon Williams, Sharice Wright. Okay, you there. I want to say to all my wonderful guests, those that are with me and those that are not with me, all I'm asking you, let's lay aside all our differences tonight. Whether we get along or not or whatever, let's deal with facts and truth. Let's deal with that. Let's get out of our personal emotions and I don't like Martin because he think this, or I don't like this person because she this way. Let's get out of that. Let's get what the message is. Let's get what the message. Let us protect our children. We're talking about the Chi-Town predator. That's what we're talking about. We got a bank full of people on here right now, and we're going to get started. But I got some guests that's on here right now. I'm going to start with Helen. Hey, what's going on, Helen?
3699.
Has joined.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
Everybody.
I got a video for us, a child, how to catch a predator, and I want to show the video tonight. And these are characteristics of a predator. Jedediah, and I'm not speaking to him in an ill way, which I don't care, but he always talk about what are some of the characteristics of a predator. So we're going to show a video, and we're going to let the people decide what's the characteristics of a predator. Don't we see some similarities of what we just witnessed in these past week or the couple of days in this video? All right. I have 0069. Hey, caller, how you doing? How you doing? Dr. D, I think
Dr. Davis. I'm going to skip.
Okay, you'll skip.
I'm going to skip to let somebody go out, to let them go before me.
Okay. What about 0282? Hey, caller. 082. We just want to acknowledge you tonight.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
Hey, Martin. How you doing? This is Miss Holmes.
This who?
Miss Holmes.
Oh, Miss Holmes. Hey, Miss Holmes. How you doing? How you doing? Good, good. I just want to acknowledge my guests. I don't need you. We're going to share. We're going to get into the video right away. I got one more guest. 3699. Hey, caller. How are you?
Hey, Martin. Hey, everyone.
Hey. All right.
Good thing I called when I did.
Okay. Well, I text you. All right. All right. Since I got a great audience on here tonight, and a certain person like Jedediah Brown said, the only reason why people on here because he's on my live. But right now, Jedediah is not on this live. I got 240 people on here right now on one Facebook page. I got 24 people on YouTube. I have 64 people on my other Facebook page. And I have 2 people on Twitter X. Just want to let you know, he don't make nothing. He don't make no decisions over here. Let's get on with this. Let's get on with the program. Let's get on with the program. And we're going to watch it. And I'm going to stop it and pause, and we'll play. All right, let's get started. Let's get started.
Wait, you just wanted to chat?
Yeah.
Can we step outside and talk about this? I don't want the cops to...
Let's start.
I was asking to chat.
Wait, you just wanted to chat?
Yeah.
Can we step outside and talk about this? I don't want the cops to have to get called, you know what I mean? Because they might call, if there's a scene. I just want to have a civil talk with you. And that'll be the end of it. Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
I think it...
You want to step outside and talk?
Sure.
All right, yeah, we'll just step right out front. I don't want to do this in here.
Yeah, well, over there inside.
Over here?
Or privately.
Yeah, let's walk over here. Come on.
I had no intention of...
You had no intention?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that outside. This might have been an honest first-time mistake, man.
Yeah, and I'm good.
Are we gonna step outside or what? Like right here?
Going this way.
You, huh? You want to do this in here?
No, I'm throwing this way.
Okay.
That's all.
We'll step right here. What's your name, man?
I'm not
saying my name.
You don't have to say your name. I already know your name's
Yeah.
Dustin. But I was just asking to see if you were going to be honest with me.
Yeah, I'm an honest person.
All right, let's stand still. We don't need to be all fidgety. So
Of course I'm gonna be fidgety.
well, we're just
What
having an
happened-
honest conversation.
That
That's it.
happened to my dad too.
What happened? What happened to your dad?
Same thing. He had no intention of saying anything, and then the guy asked him what he's interested in, all that
Hey,
stuff.
maybe we can go get pizza or something after this. I'm not
No,
even
we're
that mad
not.
at you. Listen,
Just a confusion.
yeah, maybe we can get pizza.
Because-
But real quick,
Yeah.
how old did this kid tell you they were in the chat still? Those are obviously
Yeah.
younger pictures of me. How old did they say?
They said 15.
They
and
said
then
15.
And then I also said that I have no interest in.
You did. You
Yeah.
did. You got me there. But before you were aware of the age, you said that you wanted to.
Yeah, before I knew the age.
Yes. But and then after you were aware of the age, did you not say that what you want to do you can't say over chat since they're underage?
Yes, because I was being respectful and,
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
can we say that you were scared to say what you wanted to say
No, I
because they were
wasn't.
underage?
No, because it's not appropriate.
Why is it inappropriate?
Well, hard to trust anyone.
Hard to trust anyone. That's true, but I'm not mad
I
at
don't
you or
trust-
anything.
I don't trust
I'm
my
just
own
here for an
family.
honest talk. But like
Yeah.
I said, after you were aware of the age too, you said you had a fantasy.
Yeah, and I
You said
told-
this to this minor. You had a fantasy of getting off in the bathroom.
Yeah, and just a fantasy, like I said.
But you're saying this to the kid.
You wanted me to say what something, and I didn't say to you. I said someone.
But you said you had. I said, tell me what you want to do. I promise I'll delete the messages because you were scared of getting in trouble. And you said, well, I always after
Oh,
after
then
that.
that was my confusion because, well, I have epilepsy. I get confused a lot, and so if I read it wrong, I thought you meant what did I? Somewhat.
So did you know that it's wrong to meet with a minor?
Of course, I'm not gonna do that.
So why are you blaming your epilepsy right now,
I'm
bringing
not.
that up if you knew that this was
I'm
wrong?
not. I was just telling you. And like I said, I had no intention. I told you, whatever, what I wanted to do. Chat.
No, listen, maybe you just got caught up in the moment and you thought that this kid was cute. Now, I think that me coming here, listen, I think me being here right now is going to prevent you from trying to meet up with the kid for inappropriate
I'm
activities
not
again.
gonna meet. I'm married.
You're married?
I have a husband.
You have a husband?
Yeah.
How old is your husband?
37.
37? And how old are you?
37.
37?
I don't go chasing around kids.
Does he know that you're like trying to cheat on him, or are you guys
We're
in an
not-
open relationship?
We're not in an open relationship, but we have thirds.
So if he saw these messages right now to this kid, knowing that it was 15, would he be okay with this situation?
No, he wouldn't. But he knows me, and he. What's that?
What's what?
Is that recording?
Am I recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recording for protection. I didn't say I'm doing anything. Sometimes I turn
Well,
this into the police. I'm just here for an honest
Well,
talk, so I don't have to do that.
Well, like I said, I had no intention of anything. I just wanted someone to chat, maybe give me some ideas what to make for dinner. That's it.
Yeah? Well, that last message you said about having the fantasy of getting off in the bathroom, man.
Yeah, and I didn't say you. Remember, I said someone. I'm not gonna.
Okay, so let me get this straight real quick. You wanted to meet this kid at Wegmans. That was your idea, right?
Just,
and you said to get sucked off in a public bathroom. This kid said that they were going to Wegmans. There's a public bathroom at Wegmans. So put 2 and 2 together. That equals 4. That equals you were going to do this
Yeah,
to the
but
kid in
also
the
every
bathroom.
place has a public bathroom.
No shit.
And I don't do stuff in the bathroom because it's a fancy. That's it. That's it. All my intention was someone to hang out with, someone to talk, and get some ideas to what to make for dinner. Because I have no idea how to cook.
You ever hear the song "What's Your Fantasy" by Ludacris? You wanted to lick this kid from his head to his toes.
No.
Come on, bro.
No,
What do you mean, no?
I don't listen too much.
You don't listen too much.
I'm sorry.
What's up, bro? Yeah, this man tried to meet up with a
No,
underage kid to
no.
do inappropriate activities.
No.
I run an online organization where I catch.
No, I had no intention.
But did you say that you had a fantasy to this
I had
kid of
no-
getting off in the bathroom?
Sir, I had no intention.
So you didn't say that?
He asked me a fantasy, and I told him my fantasy.
I didn't.
That's all.
He didn't ask you a fantasy. You told
And
him
that
your
was my
fantasy.
bad, my confusion.
Confusion.
I have a misunderstanding a lot of stuff. My husband can tell you that.
I don't care what your husband can tell me. You already told me that you were aware of the age. You knew
I'm
that.
live,
And I
brother.
literally
We'll
told
get to you in a
him.
minute. Hold on.
It's off the table. I literally said that.
At the beginning, and then you said there's stuff I want to say, but I can't say
playing
it
the
because you're
audio.
underage. So you didn't want to say
Gotta
the
listen
words
in.
because you were scared of getting
Is
caught,
it-
and then I got you
no,
to say
I'm not
that.
afraid to
though.
get caught because I
You already did get caught, bro, and you're scared right
because
now.
you're
You're nervous.
turning on me.
Yeah.
I had no intention, and all I had was to chat and get some ideas to how to make what to make for supper. Is that bad, sir?
So he tried to talk to her.
Underage kid, 15, and he's married too.
He was talking to her.
Yeah, he was talking to the little kid, and he was talking about getting off in the
Well, then why
bathroom.
is the little kid on Grindr? It's supposed to be 18, over 18.
I go on different apps and I catch that
Who
try
are
to
you?
meet up with underage
Who are
kids.
you?
I don't give a. You don't have to tell you who I am.
Are you
No, I'm not a cop, and I don't
authorized
have
for
to
the police?
be. But what do you think the cops would do if I called them right now? I caught a male and a female an hour ago, and they got taken in cuffs. They got taken in cuffs.
And like I said, I had no intention. Not all I want.
He was in the bathroom.
No.
No, he said it was his fantasy to get off in a public bathroom, and then he asked the kid to meet at Wegmans.
Because I asked him before. I said,
I catch people trying to meet both,
Sir,
but he was trying to meet a boy.
sir, all I asked was someone to chat with and someone get some ideas for something to make for dinner. That is all.
So if you did nothing wrong, you don't think you did anything wrong, then you should call the police
No.
on yourself and see what they
Yes.
say.
I know what I did wrong. For one, I misunderstood.
You misunderstood, bro. They told you they were underage, and you still wanted to meet.
Boy, yeah.
It's not a real kid. He was talking to me the whole time.
You a pervert, man?
No, I'm not. Like I said,
What's the definition of a? Explain the definition
I'm
of
not-
a.
and
Explain
I'm-
the definition of a.
in my opinion, being friends with from any age is fine, but anything was over 18.
But when the kid kept asking what you wanted to do, you said, "I can't say that over text.
Because
I
it
could
was-
get in trouble." And then you
No,
said
I
you had a
didn't-
fantasy
I didn't
of getting
say it.
off in the public bathroom.
I didn't
dog.
say that. I said,
Oh, he was on the phone with the person.
Yeah, chatting.
How old is you, yo?
He said he's 37.
Hey, you got that on video? Can you say it all that?
I have the screen recordings, all the messages, so you can go in and delete anything you want. I have everything screen recorded and backed up, already backed up.
You should call the police.
Oh, I know.
is it wrong to be friends with a 15-year-old?
You can't be you. How old is you, man?
It doesn't matter the age of your friend.
How old is you?
It doesn't matter if you're, no matter the age of your
How
friend.
old is
Yo,
you?
When
Rap,
it
did
comes
you
to
call?
sex, is over 18.
Bro, how old is you?
I have no liberty to tell you.
1 second.
No, I'm not.
Just got finished saying over
So you're saying you didn't say anything inappropriate at all to this kid?
I may have said something inappropriate, and that was one thing inappropriate before I found out the age.
And
That's
before
it.
you knew the age, also, you did say you wanted your fucked, and yet you still wanted to meet.
Because
You said
I'm
you want-
assuming Grindr is
You
over
said
18.
you wanted to have some fun with this kid. You said that. Is that
Sir?
appropriate to say, dog?
Sir, his profile was someone 18 over on Grindr. No one under 18 can be allowed on Grindr. Is it
So-
wrong for the assumption?
So no one under 18 could be on the app, but you, as the grown man, what should you have told this kid, dude?
I had no intention, and you know that. Oh,
What the cussing at, man?
Yeah, don't tell him off. He'll probably beat you, bro. Don't, especially you trying to. He probably has kids. You have kids? Nah, but still.
You need to call the cops, man.
Oh, they're already being called. They're gonna be called. I always do it.
Don't let him go nowhere.
Nah, he walked here too, so he's burnt.
You want to mess with 15-year-old boys?
I'm not messing with 15-year-old boys.
So what are you doing then?
Call me my dad.
You should put it on speaker and let me talk to him.
Now, busted, man.
No.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
He's accusing me of something that I didn't even do.
I am not.
I came here.
He tried to meet up with the
let me
underage
speak.
kid.
No, I'm not. That is not true.
You know him?
I do not know.
Oh,
I-
you
can I-
were just
can I-
hearing what's going on.
can-
Yeah,
Can
I
I-
work here, bro.
Oh, okay.
Can I speak? I was on my way here. I was talking to this 18-year-old on Grindr.
How old did they tell you they were?
Let me finish
You said
talking.
18.
Let me finish
All right,
talking.
talk.
You a cop?
No.
This 18-year-old, I told him what I wanted, and that was before he told me his age. And after he told me his age, I said I don't want nothing to do with him wise. Friend wise, I don't mind because.
No, man. Do me a favor. You go stand on my car.
Hey, my man. Hey, my man.
Tell me.
I mean, if it's true what he said, you need to call the cop, man. If he trying to mess with a 15-year-old boy.
I'm not. I had no
He
intention.
got the proof. He got the proof on his phone.
I had
You're
no.
not a cop, though?
No, I don't have to be. I did one about an hour and a half ago. It was a male and a female, and they both got arrested.
Give me your name.
I don't need to give you shit. I'll give my name to the cops when they get here.
Well, there they go. They go to cops right there. And see,
Hey!
we need them like that because stuff around here like that.
Where are they at?
That's with little kids.
I'm not messing with little kids.
You said the cops are right here?
They right there. If he got the proof on the phone, you hit, bro.
Want to make sure everything was.
No, you're good, man. I appreciate that. You have a good
There's
day.
a big misunderstanding.
Okay.
And I'm way over my head and I need help.
Okay.
He pretended he was a underage kid on Grindr. At first I thought he was 18. And I
All right, we're going to hold it right there, and let's get on. We're going to comment. Don't this sound so familiar, people, from what we heard? Don't this, Helen, I'm going to start with you first. I'm going to start with you, Helen, first. Don't this sound so familiar of what we heard? Go ahead, Helen.
Definitely. Yes, Martin. It does. It sounds very familiar. You know, we dealing with.
Hold a minute. Hold it, Helen. Everybody put their phone on mute. Put the phone on mute because there's some echo. Go ahead, Helen. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we dealing with this very same characteristic right now with the Chateau child predator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, deny. Innocent. I was only doing this, and when the man in the video mentioned, he said, "I got him off the Grindr," you know, and off of that app, and you have to be 18 years old, you know, to be on that app. Sick.
Mm.
And that's what we have. This is what we're dealing with right now. But I wanted Martin, because I have never worked with pedophiles. I've worked with other groups, other populations here in the city. But if I could, just for a minute, I wanted to read from the DSM, which is a Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Orders. It says a pedophile is an individual who fantasizes about, is sexually aroused by, or experience sexual urges toward I don't know how to say the word, pre-pubic, children, generally 13 years or younger, for a period of 6 months. Pedophiles are either severely depressed by their sexual urges, experience interpersonal difficulties because of them, or they either act on them. And I'm going to say, I want to say this because I was thinking about, you know, when, and this is nothing against the LGBTQ community. When the movement for equality came out for our LGBT family, or part of our community, when we saw this movement to have our washrooms, to accommodate everyone. Men could go in women's washroom, or they had certain washrooms labeled for men, women, which was just washrooms for our LGBTQ members. And a lot of that we found, I saw a lot of videos of men in children's washroom or in, men in women's washroom and in girls' washrooms, and that was like the movement for this pedophilia, because they were saying that they just had urges and desires. So that's when they started saying that pedophilia was a mental disorder. And that's all I got right now, because I'm still reading.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to go to the next person. Holmes, 0282. Go ahead. Then Dr. D next. Holmes, 0282.
Well, I agree with what the young lady said. I was interacted with with.
Okay. Miss D, I need you to get me off the loud mic and put your mouth directly on the phone because you're fading in and out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
I was interacted with someone that was a pedophilia, and I didn't know it. But thank God for my son. He basically came and told me.
You still fading in and out, D.
D.
I'm sorry, Miss Holmes. You're fading in and out. You're just going. I don't know what's wrong. You moving or what? It just
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but it's going in and out.
Is it still going in and out?
Not right now. Go ahead.
It's a bad echo.
Okay.
Let me turn it down. Okay. Turn it down a little bit. Okay. How's the echo? How is that, people?
Very good. Better.
Is that better, people?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll just put on my headphones so I can go ahead and talk, Miss Holmes.
I was interacted, and my family was interacted with the pedophile. So we didn't know he was a pedophile, but when we did find out, I took action and removed myself and my family, which was my son, from him. And it's mighty funny, his mom, his brother, none of them said anything to me. I found out because the police came. And with some pedophilias, I don't know if you all know, but with some pedophiles, they have to go down to 35th or wherever they go to register, either once a month, once a year, 3 times a year, or whatever the case may be. This particular guy, he had to do it once a year. So, I'm sorry, what you say?
No, go ahead. Come on, hurry up, speed it up. Come on, speed it up. All right, go ahead.
So it was basically to get it all out. I understand what the tape is all about. I don't want to go through that no more. I don't want my kids to go through that no more. Even though they grown, it was just a horrible situation.
Okay. Dr. Davis.
Hello, everyone. Now you in my field. Now we talking reasonable here. Number one, that man is a predator. I worked with sex offenders for years. You all know that predators seek out potential victims by looking for children they think are vulnerable. Easy target. And more than likely, less likely to report abuse. Okay? They have a tension of gaining trust by giving victims free gifts, attention, sharing secrets, and other means to make them feel that they have a caring relationship and to train them to keep the relationship secret. Am I opening up some ears here? They are cunning, they are manipulative, they lie easily, they think nothing of breaking a promise. I've been working with sex offenders for years, and when most sex offenders get out of prison, they do not register once a month. They have to go to a class, and I used to run those classes. They have to go to the class, whatever the psychologist, psychiatrist, or therapist say, and it has to be approved by the state. That they have to go to a class of getting back into the norm of being in society, but they still have that sensation. And yes, it is a mental illness. It's a mental disorder, and they have that urge. They have the urge to want young children. Now, it's a possibility that maybe they were touched as children. That's a big possibility, and more than likely they have. And then, and this Peters guy, he was doing a lot of grooming. Grooming begins with non-sexual touch, such as accidental or playful touching to desensitize the child so the child does not resist a more sexual touch. Then, of course, Peter, he's offended, then explore the child so the child does not resist a more sexual touch. So you have so many sexual advantages. This is what they do. Predation involves 4 steps: search, recognition, capture, and handling. Search, recognition, capture, and handling. What has he done? Signs of grooming: asking you to keep things secret, trying to find out things about you, sending you sexual messages or images. Hey, love. Giving you gifts or compliments, making you feel isolated, threatening you. Things are too good to be true. This is what grooming means. These are signs of predator. That man that was on that video, and I've seen a lot of them, he's a sex offender, he's a predator. And even on that particular site, Grindr, they say all sites say you have to be 18, but a child can get on there and say they 18.
Tell the truth.
But he know who he
the
was talking
devil.
to. He know who he was talking to. He know who he was talking to. He know what he was doing. Just like this Peters guy, he knew what he was doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So people like that have to be shut down. Now, do some of them get rehabilitated? People say no. I have known a few people that don't have that urge anymore. You have to try to get them to get that urge out of them to want a child. That's why, if you all notice, they're not allowed to live within so many feet of a school, so many feet of a church. And they are not allowed to be online, but somehow they do get online, right? If they're on the sex offender list. They're not even allowed to open up their door during Halloween. Ask Cook County Sheriff. They have to go check on them, especially on Halloween. So it's a lot of sex offenders that is registered in Illinois. A lot. Don't think that they're not doing their job. They are. They are, especially in Cook County. It's ridiculous. The number is ridiculous. But, you know, this is my field. My field is sex offenders and substance abuse. And I feel sorry for the victims because, as you all know, I was a victim too. And that's okay. I'm over it. I learned how to cope with it. But these people have a problem. And not only when they're not doing getting their satisfaction, they turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, and that's when they become monsters. And once they become monsters, you really have to watch out and be careful. So people like that, we have to be wary of them. We have to watch them. We have to report them. Go to the police department. If you are a mandatory reporter, let them know. And a lot of them will be thrown back in jail. You will be surprised how many sex offenders are sitting in the Cook County, not only the Cook County, but the prisons in Illinois right to this day. So keep reporting it. Don't stop, and protect your children. And please do not allow your children just to go with anyone just because they say they are a mentor. Because that man, or that was a small case. Trust me, a very small case compared to the cases that I have solved. So we have to be really, really careful. And I'm going to mute myself for any questions.
Okay, thank you. We got $36.99. Just before she comes, let me make an announcement real quick. Those of you that's tired of me talking about this is what you call sexual assault awareness month. So You're welcome to leave the live. You're welcome. I'm not holding you here to stay here. So all your comments, all that signifying, that's not going to happen today. You'll get blocked. So once I block you, you're welcome to go to YouTube or Twitter X and watch me there. I don't care. But what you're not going to do here is tell me what I shouldn't or should be talking about. I am protecting the victims. Don't care about the predators. I am protecting the victims, and I am educating the community about the Chi-Town child chaser, child predator. I'm sorry. That's what I'm doing here. All right. $36.99. Go ahead.
Okay, so first I want to bring up the similarities between Justin and what we just saw in the video. Justin did claim that he met his victim on a website, a dating site or whatever. But if you notice in this video that you showed us, the predator said, no, I said what I wanted to do first before I found out the age. See, so he's ready. He knows what to say. He said it. He said, no. I didn't. I said what I wanted to do before I found out how old he was. And that's pretty much what Justin said too. Justin pretty much said that they said they were 18 and they were on that site, and that he didn't know that this person was underage. So that's a similarity right there. You know. And yeah, I caught that.
Okay.
He said that the guy in the video said, yeah, they real slick. Real slick. And he said, it was a fantasy. And he kept saying, I didn't have any intention. I didn't have any intention. So he's well versed in not getting caught. To somebody else, he looked and came across as being slow. But that man in that video is not slow. He thinks he's slick, just like Justin. Because he said, I didn't have any intention. I didn't have any intention. I said what I wanted to do before I found out how old they were. Technicalities. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right. 5307. I mean 5307. Go ahead, caller. Caller. Last four digits of your number. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to 123. What's going on, buddy? Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Well, hold on. 50. I just called on you. You got to turn your. Let me hear you. What's your comments?
Is hello? Is this am I 123 Martin?
No, you're not 123. This actually you're not, but this guy right here, you 5307. Go ahead. Your last four digits of your number, telephone number. Go ahead.
5307.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's you.
All right. Yeah. This is Mark.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, Mark?
Good.
All right. I didn't really listen to the tape. I must have called in late. I called in yesterday, Martin, so I'll just make a little statement before I even begin. I kind of embarrassed myself yesterday and got into a bit of a yelling match with your viewer yesterday. And it's not my intention to do that today whatsoever. I want to say that, I want to have the most, I guess, respectful and productive conversation today. When we talk about this gentleman, let me recant that. The individual, Justin, I want to say that, especially in our community, I'll never forget in the late 1990s or early 2000s, the issue we had with Ryan Harris, the young girl that was kidnapped and later found found deceased out behind the train tracks on 67. Now we have a park named after her. And it came out later that Inglewood, the community that I lived in, I've been so dearly loved, was a dumping ground for the Illinois Department of Human Services and IDOC for sexual people at the time being released for sexually related crimes. Then moving forward to this day and age, why our community is taking this so, I guess the word we can say, serious, is because we know how we've been used right now. There's a number of different issues that's really related to this conversation. The young lady that was on your phone call yesterday, she gave a number of questions on, okay, how do we move forward and hold people accountable? And, I want to make a couple of suggestions. During this last 5, 6, 7 years, we've been hearing so many different slogans, protect Black women, stand up for Black men. But you know what? We've been leaving out the Black child. We've been leaving out the Black child for so long right about now. And what is our community without protecting children? And I think we really do have to create a culture, a ruthless culture about protecting our children. Our children, there's no way we can produce great products in adults if we don't stand up and protect our children from every element we can think of that will damage them, will cause them to become, traumatized and grow up into become a damaged human being. And this goes to say what I saw, I heard at the time in the video, and I seen the video that the gentleman, or once again, this individual, Justin, did. It was unquestioned. He was grooming children. Everyone knows youth, especially boys, we bully each other. We get in the locker room, for everything from snapping towels at one another to teasing if you got into the age range of liking girls and you are not getting don't have a girlfriend. Everything, we know we bully each other, and that goes on to even up into the ages of adulthood. But when you get a very clever individual and plant them in the locker room and promote the bullying. Looking at that video, it was clearly somebody that was holding on and grabbing a jock strap, playing tug of war, the boys putting out their phones and everything, and somebody was edging that on, adult edging that on, and that tells me that he was creating a atmosphere of grooming, of bullying. You know what I'm saying? More likely they was picking on the weakest boy in the room, the most insecure boy in the room, and the joke was probably, showing that he wasn't strong enough and everything. It was about teasing somebody. And I'm just wanting to make that statement right now. I'll move on.
Okay, thank you. Let me just say this too. We do have young children watching today, so I want to ask you guys to watch your language. So let's kind of, because they're learning. So this is a learning process. So I just want to ask you guys to kind of watch your language, even though I know we live, uncut, unedited, but do me that favor, watch your language. Okay, 0123. Go ahead, my caller. 0123.
How you doing, Martin? I was really just calling to listen in, but what I have to say to everybody is a fellow gentleman was saying, just make sure you looking out for your kids, monitoring their social networking as far as the internet and as far as who they're text messaging and spend time with them. A lot of these kids are yearning for attention, but they're getting it from the wrong people. They're getting it from the outside. It's not the proper attention that they should be looking for. So, and to the kids, just make sure you're not falling for the okie doke, the banana in the tailpipe, as they call it. be cautious about who you're around and who you calling your friend or stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Did you want to say something? 0152. I know you said you just wanted to listen in. 0152.
No, I'm gonna just listen in right now.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just say something.
Well, I want to say something. This is Dr. Davis.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Dr. Dave.
Will you find something that's suspicious? Do you think that this person is a sexual predator? If you are concerned that someone is engaging in sexual predatory behavior, you should alert your local law enforcement or child protective services like DCFS, Child Care Initiative, if a minor is involved. It is not appropriate for you to take action individually. It's not to confirm any suspicions you may have about the individual, but you do want to go to your local law enforcement, get DCFS involved. If you are a mandate reporter, you have to take actions as parents. And if you have someone to support you, that's important because it's not fair to the child. Because we have too many broken homes nowadays. We have too many that's suffering nowadays, all because people will not open up their mouth and alert the right people to help. And you can get help. And you can also get your children help because they're going to need therapy. Okay? And that is so important.
Okay.
It's very important. They're going to need therapy. And a parent's going to need therapy too because they're going to have to learn how to deal with this, how to cope with the child being molested or groomed in any kind of way. All right? I'm going to go back on mute.
Okay, thank you. We're finna play the rest of the video. Stay tuned.
He said some things before he said his age, and when he said the age, I told him that when it comes to it's totally off the table, and then he kept asking me for something to say what I want and all that stuff, and I told him what I want, but that was a fantasy. But after that message, I told him I would like to just talk and hang out and just get some ideas for food. That's it. I had no intention of the sex.
Ma'am, he after he was aware of the age too, you said you had a fantasy of getting off in a public bathroom, and then you invited the kid to Wegmans. That's a public area.
Yeah, but not. It was
you said to get off. That's
because he asked me what I wanted to do or what I want to do or whatever, and I told him a fantasy of mine. That's it. And I told you, I had no interest in. Just wanted someone to talk and maybe get some ideas for food because I have no idea how to cook.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you, sir?
Yes.
Can I see it?
May I ask why?
So, I don't know, so I was my phone charger, my keyboard phone died a second ago, but I sent all of the chat logs to the other officer that was at the scene. I already have everything sent to him.
This guy?
Yeah, I'm disabled. And in a second I can send the link of the live stream too. Is that fine if it's sent to him?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Unfortunately, we're in a public spot. All right. Hang tight for me, okay?
So basically, he was being cautious. Before he knew the age, he said he wanted to talk. Then I told him the age, and he said he can't say anything sexual. And I said, what do you want to do? And he said, I can't really say what I want to do because I don't want to get in trouble.
I didn't say trouble. I said,
You can talk to me over here.
Yeah. And then after that, we were chatting more. I was like, come on, just tell me what we're going to do before we hang out. And then he said, well, I have a fantasy of getting sucked off in a public bathroom. And then he invited the kid to the Wegmans.
This was after knowing the age?
Yeah, after knowing the age. So that, to me, him saying he has that fantasy after I said, what are we going to do, makes me think he was going to try to get a from this kid in a public area. Because he said he walked here, too.
Okay. What website did you find this to?
This one was Grindr, but I use a bunch of different sites.
How many? The other officer told me you get over 100 this year?
Yeah, this is I don't know, 115 or 116.
All right.
maybe get some ideas from the kids. I have no idea how to talk. I have no intention. I'm married.
So a married person can't be a...
Stop.
So, how old did you think this person was after? Like, tell me the time.
In the beginning, I thought he was 18.
And then,
Then when you said it was 15, I tried not to say anything. But he kept hounding me, saying what I like to do, what I want to do, and all that stuff. And I told him my fantasy. And then after that, I told him all I want is just chat.
so I'm gonna talk with my supervisor, okay? We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do, okay?
If you...
Huh?
Hey,
Okay.
if you want me to, I can pull my car up right now and plug this in and show you everything right now too, even though it's already set to it.
That would kind of help us here.
I'm right down the road. My bad. I'll be right back.
Before that, did he say anything?
Oh no,
Like,
he
where
said
was
messing. Because I asked him what he wanted to do, and he said that he's looking to mess around, but he didn't want to say specifically what he wanted to do.
Okay.
And then later on in the combo, I said I'm 100% gonna come. Tell me what you want to do. I'll delete the messages so no one sees them. And then that's when he. That's when he said, I always wanted to get sucked in the bathroom, but that's just a fantasy with someone. Just chat and hang out while I find something to make for dinner. See you soon. Yeah, like the last few messages were screenshots instead of screen recordings. So I was
Yeah,
going into the
they're
store and
little.
the phone was about to die, but
Okay.
I have everything. I can make sure they're all in order for you guys.
Okay. So, sorry, I'm just trying to follow. Can
Yeah,
we go back to the video so I can follow that a little bit
yeah.
more? Okay, what am I doing? Okay.
I said, but what are we gonna do? I'm gonna delete the messages before we meet, and then that's when he said about getting in the bathroom, which obviously, like, he's inviting this kid to a store where there's a bathroom. So
Alright.
yeah, yeah. What's up?
So, here's the deal. Are you live streaming right now?
Yeah, I am. You want me to mute it or?
If you could.
Yeah, I'm muted. It's all
Things I
good.
need to talk to you that are rather confidential for the world.
1 second.
He was muting. The cop wanted to talk
Oh, it is.
off record.
What's up, guys? I got some weird vibes from this officer. Personally, I thought all the other officers that were at the scene were real cool. This guy's just demeanor with me was really rude. When we were talking, he was saying, he said something like, we have 28,000 people in Williamsport. We have other things that we need to be attending to other than this. And I was like, wait, so you have to be attending to what, like speeding tickets and traffic stops instead of somebody trying to meet up with the kid? I was like, I already did another catch here. The person got arrested.
We
This is a very
can't hear
important
we can't hear the
situation.
video.
There's traffic stops and stuff like that. And he wanted to keep making sure that my mic was muted. As you saw at the one point, I was like, there it is, look. And he just wanted to make sure that this was going to be muted and not heard. And I dealt with him after this one other time, and he was also rude. Just his demeanor with me, like, I don't know, I was reading his demeanor, like he didn't like me or something, but all the other officers were real chill.
Set up on your room.
Alright, I just unmuted it.
Okay.
But yeah,
We're
I
on the
got
same
it.
page now.
Yeah.
And it's not a one man goes out, Wild West style.
So like, what do you want? What do they want me to do then if I do the confrontation? Not call the cops?
I already explained that. So
No, I know, but like I'm saying, like if I do a catch, I'm gonna call the cops just because, like, especially if the person's real bad in the chat logs.
okay. Well, I understand what you're trying to do to get me on live stream. Explain.
Well, yeah, I unmuted it.
Okay. He's gonna come with us this night.
Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Can you tell me what's going on first?
Yes. Turn around and put your hands on your back, and that's what we're doing.
Can I
Okay?
call my husband?
No. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna double lock these so they don't end up on you, okay? All right.
Okay, we're gonna stop. Hold it right there in that. All right. Live Uncut, we're back. Who wants to make a comment first? Helen? You make a comment on this? Okay. Anyone want to make a comment real quick?
Well, as I was saying, I thought the video was over with. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
Anyone want to
comment real quick?
Yeah, this is Helen.
Go ahead, Helen.
This is Helen.
As I was saying, I thought the
Somebody,
video was over with.
Helen, turn your thing down. Turn it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
Turn it
okay,
down.
okay. All right. Okay. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, a cop. Let me just say, I've never had any experiences or anything with firsthand with pedophilia. But I just kind of want to piggyback on what Jamont was saying, how our community, the Inglewood community, is inundated with sexual offenders, predators, so forth and so on. I believe, I don't know, maybe I think it was during the pandemic, there was a guy that was being released from prison. And so they was trying to release him to DuPage County somewhere, which is where he lived or, where his family was. But they got together, the neighbors and everybody in DuPage County got together and boycotted. They said, no, we don't want him here. This guy was in jail for killing a 3-year-old, raping and killing a 3-year-old girl. And so they got that, DuPage County got together. They did not want him there in their community. So they shipped him to Inglewood on 66 and Perry, to his building on 66 and Perry. And so, we got word of that. And I believe you was out there with us too, Jamont. We got word of that. And so we went there. We had flyers. We inundated the community with flyers. We was outreaching out, talking to the residents in the area, letting them know that they was sending this guy there. After we did a lot of investigation, we found out that Illinois Department of Human Services had dumped 87 sex offenders in that building. Whoever owned the building was getting the money from Illinois Department of Human Services. There was one resident that was living in that building, a young lady. She was the only one. She was living, paying rent in that building. But the building's owner had rented out all of these different rooms. But it was 87 of them living there in that building. We didn't know, and the residents didn't know. Illinois Department of Human Services came out, we found out they had no aftercare services. They had no case management services. And even at the time, the commander in the 7th district, he came there. And so their logic for sending all of them there in that building was so that they can keep an eye on them and they would know where they are. And just like Jamont said, we had our Ryan Harrison in that community. And that's what they do. And as citizens, as residents, we have to find out because the residents around there didn't know. The area was unkept. They wasn't getting the weekly services from the alderman's offices, like there was lots. That was overgrown with grass, but they was able to disguise and hide and dump these predators in our community. And so we have to be diligent we have to be very diligent. If, like Jamon said, we have to protect the Black child. We have to, to our children. We have to talk to our children every day. I'm always asking my granddaughter, "How was your day today? Give me some feedback on your day. What was your interactions like with the people that you interacted with today?" Because I want to know. I don't want, children should not even think that they can't come and talk to me or talk to the parent about anything. And I know that we got a lot on our plate. I know we have a lot on our plate, but that's the future. That's going to be our legacy. So we have to do everything possible to protect them. But it's so much. They in the public school system, they have 2 gender washrooms now. They have the boys, the girls, and they have a washroom for both genders. So it's those type of things that we have to stop and pay attention to. We cannot keep going blindly into what this society is doing, and that is making our children targets, sexual targets.
Mm-hmm.
And we can no longer deny that. I'm done, Mark.
Okay, I want to say something.
Mark, if I could say something.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I think that parents need to really do their homework and don't be so quick to drop your kids off to complete strangers. Back in the day, we were coming up, we were taught about stranger danger. You had the McGruff commercial going on, and that's basically what that was about. Don't be so quick to let your kids go next door. I never spent the night at none of my friends' house. I didn't even spend a night at none of my cousins' house. Know where your kids is at. I know that a lot of parents are struggling. They're out there working 2 and 3 jobs, working jobs that's way out the city, and they be tired. But listen to your kids. Listen to your kids when they come home, and don't just drop your kids off with the coaches and the mentors. At the end of the day, you're the parent, and your child really want to be around you. Interact with your children, and that could stop some of this, hopefully.
Well, I'd like to jump in if I may.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So one of the major issues that we have today with our conversation around protecting our children is the proliferation of the sexualization of our children. It has become it's become more than it's becoming an institution. And when we look at the issue around, and let me just say this as well, one of the major mistakes that we're making is we think that all sexual predators are men.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
We have it's haven't come out how many interactions our boys have with older women. Along with that, we have not touched on girls' experience with other girls, older girls, of recent. That conversation is not, and I'm not trying to redirect the conversation. What I'm just trying to say is, right now we're dealing with an all-out assault on creating a sexualized child. Everything from the music to the social media it's just become a powerful force that parents have to deal with. Majority of the children can give
a verse from a song that's so sexualized that the parents don't even recognize that their children's mind has been co-opted. Get into this conversation. What we have to do, one of the major things, I understand we have a professional on the phone, so I'm not going to overstep my bounds and try to go into the person that's a professional friend. But one of the things that we got to do also, as we got to create this conversation on how to best protect our children. But we also got to conversate on how not to create a more clever predator. Well, yes, Helen is correct. I was out there when the call was made for me to come and monitor this building. As a matter of fact, I was present when a brother that we know been out there fighting for years. Keith Harris was arrested during that time. And I was almost arrested that time because the owner of that building was, pretty much called and said we was harassing the people in this building. Well, we come to find out that it's a number of different. He had a contract with the Illinois Department of Human Services to house predators, and then we come to find out that he owned another building it was an LLC or a company that had a number of contracts for that, and they was all located in our community. I'll come back at a later time.
Okay, we just got a new caller. I want to recognize the new caller. Hey, caller, 3845. You're live, uncut. What's your comments or your question? Caller.
Y'all here. Yeah, you doing a good job, brother. This guy.
Hey, brother. I'm gonna ask you to kind of refrain from losing that language. We got some children watching tonight, and I want us to kind of watch that language. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That the things you're doing, brother. I agree with you and behind you, Black Power. And also the Jewel Dyer guy. What's his name? Jewel Dyer. It would be perfect if you guys talked, because he's not a pedophile, but that other guy is a pedophile. I need to burn in hell. Touching little boys. Can't agree with that. But Jared Dyer, you guys just need to talk. But that other guy needs to burn in hell. That's it. That's all, brother. God bless you. Good night.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Martin.
Yes. Go ahead.
Martin.
Go ahead.
This is Ms. Holmes.
Go ahead, Ms. Holmes.
I agree with the young lady and the young man about the area for pedophiles. I know a couple of people that was in that area and they was pedophiles, and it's just like, why was they dropping them people off like that? What was the purpose of them dropping them people off? It was still normal. I'm saying the pedophiles not normal, but it was still, like the young lady said, people over there that was paying rent. And nobody actually knew that them pedophiles was around. They had a couple of blocks that had pedophiles around. So nobody knew that. The police obviously didn't care to tell us.
Well, let me just say this. Let me jump in. There's a number of reasons why they are directed in our community. One, our community is less aware. The reporting standards was easy to take advantage of. It was a design. It was a design. It was an institution. It was policy. It was taking advantage of a poor Black community. It was definitely policy, and our government and our and our public institutions participated in that. So we are not gonna. It's no make no sense not to say it wasn't conspiracy. It was a very strong conspiracy. And by the time we became aware of it and our community activated, we looked up and noticed that we was pretty much inundated. It was an infestation in our community.
Okay. All right. Dr. D, maybe you can.
Now, this is Dr. Davis, you guys. Yes, I keep putting a link in the chat box informing you guys, and even myself, I get a list every quarter on the Cook County Sheriff.gov Illinois sex offenders website of every sex offender that's in my community, and I'm in the South Shore community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can know who's in your neighborhood. This is information that especially parents need to know. You can go on their website. It is free, and they will send you, or you can download it and print it out, every sex offender that's registered in the state of Illinois. So far, they have listed, let me get it right, 33,269. I think that's a lot. I think it's more than that. Indiana, 13,000. Iowa, 6,000. Kansas is 11,000. But you can go online, and I've put the link in the chat box so you guys can see that you can be able to view. Someone said I get a notice as well. You can get a list of all the registered sex offenders that is in your neighborhood and for the entire state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So that way you will be aware.
We got a new caller.
Yeah.
New caller.
Go on mute.
5625. Hey, caller. What's your comment or question?
Hey, my comment is, isn't that, I mean, so I was talking about the building with all the sex offenders, but the alderman has to know, like the aldermen in our community, like through Page, they immediately stopped it. We gotta hold our aldermen accountable for stuff that's going on in our community, and they are the aldermen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not like wherever it was, the alderman didn't know that this man had this building going on. To put sex offender in the middle of our community after the Page didn't want him, that's ridiculous.
Well, let me jump in once more. Once again, we're talking. We got to go back in time and talk about how things developed. During the late 1990s, there was a public outcry, a new anger in regards to sex offenders. White communities throughout the nation was taking a stand. Unfortunately, Black communities, we had our own issues. We was dealing with a number of issues, particularly around the war on drugs, gang violence, and everything like that. So our attention was really, the prolific violence that was always taking place in our community. During that same time, white communities was pushing sex offenders out of their neighborhoods, and where was they to go? It was being placed in our neighborhoods. So yes, so you're correct. Our aldermen, our public officials, department heads. But by the time we was aware of what was taking place, by the time the second and third baby was killed by a sex offender or a rapist or a child rapist alert came through our community, we didn't catch up until really like the early 2000s or the mid 2000s. So 2007, 2008. So this is when we finally and when we did catch up, action was taken. And this is the fact throughout Black communities throughout the nation. And it was by the time we became aware of the conspiracy that was taking place through policy, we was kind of behind. We was really kind of behind the eight ball.
Okay,
So,
hold
can
it,
I,
ma'am,
wait,
hold
can
it,
I say
hold it,
something? Okay,
hold it.
okay, go ahead.
I had to hang up on you last night anyway. I remember exactly who you are. Yeah,
I know you
you're
know my
slick
number.
mouth.
I know you know my
All right,
number,
then
but
you watch
I
it
just have
tonight,
a
cause
question.
we
I'm
ain't,
sorry to
not,
be
we ain't.
left out.
I said
Hold
okay.
it. Yeah. Okay. Listen. Let me just say this, people. Maybe somebody can Google it real quick. But I heard Roseland have the most sex offenders in the area.
They do.
The
They do.
most. The
They do.
most.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
do.
They do.
Okay.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
piggyback on what he was saying,
Go ahead.
and what she was saying, that what the aldermen, you know, Illinois is one of the most corrupt states in the world. It's called pay to play. If I'm gonna get some money out of it, hey, I'm gonna take it, and that's what they do. Unfortunately. Now, here's a question for all you all. Did you all know that it's a place called Miracle Village? This is where the guy that raped me lives. It is a community on Muck City Road, about 3 miles east of Pahokee, Florida, that serves as a haven for registered sex offenders. It is located within one of the most isolated and poorest parts of Palm Beach County. They have a cul-de-sac designed for nothing but sex offenders, and they live on trailers. I wonder why they would not do that here. Put them somewhere way yonder on a somewhere that no one can get to them, and it'd be designed for them. And I'm serious. You have a lot of communities in Florida that's designed for just sex offenders. So that is the one place, one of the biggest places in Pahokee, Florida,
So let me
is
also
designed
jump in
for
again.
just sex offenders.
I want to
I'm
say
sorry.
something.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
because
Jamar, let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this, and I don't want to sound like I'm playing both sides, but there's a lot of people that's on the sex registry probably don't belong to be on there. I want to say that. So
I agree.
I'm just going to say that. Go ahead, Jamar.
And I want to say this because I'm not trying to reveal anything about my day job in regards, but I do having been in committee meetings in Springfield and seeing individuals that are registered sex offenders testify that their housing insecurity is becoming a issue in more. How can I state this? We gonna have to address the issue around housing and sex offenders. Not that I'm sympathetic to sex offenders, but we do have to address it because the homeless issue is creating a more dangerous situation with sex offenders. There are sex offenders that have maybe moved on in their life, started families, and they can't live with their families and stuff like that. So how do we create accountability, but at the same time make sure that we're still protecting our children is one of the major questions at hand. I don't know how can we, because if we create a circumstance where we create a worser individual, a go for broke individual, we're creating a more dangerous situation for our children as well. I'd like to know, I know this is Martin's show, and but the conversation is, I think, should be about accountability and protecting our children.
Mark,
Yeah.
let me say something. It's Helen.
Go ahead, Helen. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. Just in this conversation, just right here,
Anonymous.
I can just see how the issue of protecting our children was kind of pushed back on the back burner. Because we have other issues, like, and Jamont brought up the housing issue. You know, that is something that state legislators have to deal with. But what our community what we have to deal with, and that is the safety of our children. And how do we ensure that our communities are safe for our children? So we have to educate ourselves, and we have to educate our children. You know, I think Marcus brought up the stranger danger. You know, when I was coming up, they taught us about good touches and bad touches. If someone touched you and you felt uncomfortable with that touch, that person should not have touched you. If you feeling uncomfortable with that touch is a good thing. So you let somebody know, hey, so-and-so touched me, it didn't feel right. And that's that's my biggest concern. Because that video, when I watched that video yesterday, I saw so much in that video, and definitely with the grooming. You know, I saw one boy or either two boys tugging at another boy. Either those was his shorts or a strap, but they was little boys, so those was probably his underwear. Why are you trying to rip this little boy's underwear off of him? And was there a environment or a unspoken language for them to automatically do that? And then the child predator was laying in the bed on his stomach, looking, smiling. So were these two boys that was pulling this other boy's drawers, had they already been groomed by this man?
Of course.
That?
Martin, why don't you give us some context of that? Martin, because you are most aware of the issue, why don't you give us more context of that? Why was he in the room from our conversation?
Can I finish my statement, Jamont?
Jamont, let her finish it. Let her finish.
Why that environment was created. And so even our children, we have to watch who our children are around. Because those boys in that room, and I'm looking at that video, they literally trying to pull his shorts off of him. Where did they get that behavior from? Who taught them that? Who told them to target that young man? Because there's an unspoken language that went on in that hotel room.
Helen, can I say something?
Let Helen finish.
Yeah.
Let her
Helen,
finish.
can I say something?
Marcus, let her finish.
I'm done, Mark.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to
Go ahead.
answer your question from my perspective. I believe Jermont said it earlier. Boys tend to bully boys, and their goal was probably to humiliate that one particular boy by doing that. And in this day and age, you have phones, and when we was coming up, I was in swimming class, and going to swimming, we would pop each other with towels and do all that. And sometimes some of my friends would grab your shorts and literally think that it was funny to throw it in the pool, or your underwear and throw it in the pool, and now you're walking around naked trying to find your clothes. It's a form of horseplay, but for an adult to be in the room and allow it to go on, that should have been shut down immediately.
Okay. Also, for those of you who have not seen the video is up on the screen. Is no audio. Jermont, I'm gonna take these two callers. Then I'm gonna explain what the video is going on with how he ended up in the room with the small children. Okay, 3858. You're next caller.
Hello, I am a probation officer with Cook County.
Hey, I know who
and
you
I
are.
Worked.
How you doing?
I know.
Go ahead.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked in the sex offender unit. And let me just say this. It's unfortunate, but there is no such thing as safety. The average sex offender has committed their crime 200 times before they're ever caught. Your children are not safe anywhere. And for people to have this illusion that their children are going to be safe, they're not. And it's unfortunate, but it's the world that we live in. Your child will more than likely be molested by somebody you know and someone who's close to you. I'm not saying that children don't get molested by strangers, because they do. I watch people, because I attended a mega church, I watch people let their children get up and go to the bathroom in the church. You don't know who's in the bathroom, and things happen everywhere. And so we have to be more vigilant about talking to our children ourselves, protecting our children ourselves, watching who our children are connected to. Watch even your family members, because you'd be surprised when I have sex offenders sitting across the desk from me and other offenders as well. When they would sit across the desk from me, many of them have been molested by people in their own family. Many of them have been molested by preachers. And it wasn't just the Catholic Church. It's in the Baptist Church. It's in the Methodist Church. It's in all churches. It's in schools. There was a case that came through Cook County when the courtrooms were on 51st and Wentworth, and everybody thought it was funny that a teacher had molested a 16-year-old boy, but because she was female, that was acceptable. From the state's attorney, the judge, and the attorneys in the courtroom, they all laughed about it and said, oh, he got some early. That was not funny. He was molested. And you don't know how that would impact him, because society says it's okay for that to happen to boys and it's a female. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. So I just have to tell everybody, you have to watch everybody when it comes to your children. Your children aren't safe with anybody. We have sex offenders that you never would have imagined. Now, if it's their first offense that they got caught on, it's unfortunate, because Cook County may reduce those charges down to a battery, and they're not on the sex offender registry. But the sex offender registry is open to everyone. You can see it. The Illinois State Police have it there for everybody to see. It's open to everyone. But there are some sex offenders aren't on that registry. Are they sex offenders? Yes, they are. And they bear watching. And they're not on the list. The state's attorneys, and it didn't start with Kim Fox. It went long before Kim Fox. They reduced those charges down to a battery. So they're never charged with a sex offense. I watched in the courtroom a judge who knew his friend, who was the attorney, representing a sex offender. The girl was mentally delayed. She was in a group home. The person who molested her worked at the group home. He had a private attorney because he had the means. The judge knew the private attorney. They went to law school together. They put him on probation. When he came over and we started giving him what he was required to do, his attorney took him back in there and said, Your Honor, with this charge, he can be sued now, and we don't want to get sued. The victim and the group home were gone. The judge vacated the conviction because that was his friend, the attorney. So your children are safe. They're not safe. And Cook County, I'm sorry, it's crooked. So I had to say I was anonymous because I can't tell who I am, but I'm telling you from working on the inside, your system is crooked. So your children are not safe. They're not. And I don't care whether they're in the school system, whether they're in the church, you better watch them even among your relatives, because sex offenders are everywhere. And I'm sorry, that's the world that we live in. And I'm telling you because I monitor sex offenders. I've been doing this work for 26 years. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And before one gets caught, they have done it about 200 times. And that's what I had to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And she is right.
She is. Thank you
She is
so
right.
much. Great
100%
information.
right.
Great information.
Mm-hmm.
We got. Let's take this call. I think it's Roosevelt, dear friend of mine. Hey, Roosevelt, 3268. I think that's you.
Hey, what's going on, Martin?
Hey, Roosevelt, how you doing?
Oh, first of all, hopefully everybody is doing great. Dr. Davis, Marcus, and Helen, who I haven't seen in a long time. Hopefully everyone is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I had a couple of concerns. Because I know I heard you say earlier about some people on the sexual offenders registry list really don't belong there. I mean, just like I wish I knew who this gentleman was who you had on last week. Or I wish I could get an interview with him. You know, something that happened to his grandson. You know, where his grandson, I guess, was with a young lady. And only thing, I don't know why they made such a big deal of it. Because the only thing this young lady was just a year younger than him. I mean, how in the world do you have, and I think parents need to stop a whole lot of this kind of stuff too, in letting teenagers and all this stuff spend the night and everything. Because as soon as you get mad at them, that's when you can completely turn and go the other way. She let this young man and everything spend the night and everything over at the house. So come on now, if the young man that spent the night at your house, in your daughter's bedroom, I mean, you know, they're not in there just holding hands. You know exactly what's going on.
But Roosevelt,
and all because they had.
But Roosevelt, let me just say, even though I understand everything you're saying, but the law states a certain thing. You know, that lady, that parent used the law to her advantage to punish the young man to get on the sex offender list. And you know, we the story, and I know the story you're talking about. So the law still stands regardless.
That was not right.
Right. You know, whether you agree
And the
with it or
only
not.
reason why the law knew about it because the mother, because she had a vendetta, all because I guess the boy, he was about to move on and go to college, so he was about to break up with the old girl and everything. And I guess or whatever, she was just thinking to herself, oh no, you can go on to be a big ball player. You just gonna leave my daughter? No, I'm not gonna let you do that. So that's when she. So I mean, if she got him prosecuted, she's the one who should also be prosecuted because I mean, a whole lot of this took place under your roof. You allowed this stuff. If I was a prosecutor, I wouldn't even entertain those charges.
Yeah.
Because I think a whole lot of times prosecutors, police officers who were out, if somebody called me as a police officer over there to deal with that case, I would not have dealt with it. I probably would have laughed her on the way.
Yeah, but
because
you know,
I mean,
Roosevelt,
part of the problem is her.
Roosevelt, let me explain something to you how the law works. The law is the law of the land, is not how we feel, what we think of we should. Sometimes the law does not represent the morally thing to do. So I understand exactly what you're saying. So the law is the law. It's the system. You know, it's set in play.
But now this young man,
yes,
because of the system, he is just completely messed up. And the thing is, it seems like when it comes down to sex offenses, it seems like it's no category of sexual offenders. It's like, you know, you're on the list, and that's how everybody kind of looks at you. They don't look at, or there's no category like separating the details most of the time from like who's dangerous to the least dangerous or whatever. You know, you kind of, especially in certain states, you're kind of lumped in together. Like Dr. Davis made a reference to Florida. Florida has one of the more stricter laws when it comes down to that. So all sex offenders in Florida, whether it's something that's completely major or minor, everybody's just like all lumped in together. And you know, you talk about Miracle Village. I saw a documentary years ago on Miracle Village. And they said even with Miracle Village, everyone does not get in. They actually turn down more people, you know, who try to apply because the application, you know, process is very, very, very strict. So, I mean, not everybody gets into Miracle Village.
Martin,
not everybody gets in there.
Yeah, when Roosevelt done, you sure can talk. When Roosevelt, you done, Roosevelt? Okay. Roosevelt, you done?
Almost.
Okay, go ahead.
So just one more thing before Marcus. So just because you have that problem or they have like that community or whatever for them, don't mean you can get in. because, the guy who's in charge of it, he actually said that we only accept people who actually, before they get out of jail, actually admit that they did it. Because if they don't admit that they did it, or they might say something like, well, I'm innocent or whatever, something like that, or I didn't do it and just got accused or something like that. He's like, no, in reality, you really don't need us. He's like, so if you just got falsely accused of stuff, the main thing you can do is just get yourself a good attorney. So only people they'll admit is, first of all, people who admit that they did it. And just because you admit that you did it, it doesn't always mean that you're going to get in, because the application process, from what they said, is very, very strict. In Florida, that's one of the states where they just lump everybody in with everyone else. So they probably would lump this young man, who was just guilty on a so-called statutory rape allegation in with someone who's like one of the more dangerous sexual offenders. So the state of Florida, depending on what state you're in, will look at you as being all the same. And I just feel so sorry for that young man and everything too. So, I just wish I knew who his grandfather was or who the young man was, because I wish I could get an interview with them for my show. Because I feel on my show, I talk about sometimes where the justice system is going wrong. And I feel that in that case, that's where the justice system has surely gone wrong. Because the whole case, even though I know the law is the law, but it was just all about a woman who was just all pissed off and all of her feelings, all because the boy and the girl or something had problems, and the guy decided to just break up with the girl because he was going to college and pursuing a basketball contract. So she ended up filing his charges against him, so that brought his whole life just completely to a halt, just ruining that boy's life off for nothing. I think that's a shame. In our American justice system, which is the worst in the world, by the way, should not be allowed to do that.
Okay, Marcus,
Can I
go ahead.
speak on that, Martin?
Okay.
Let me say this right quick.
Okay, hold on.
There's
Okay.
another.
Okay, Marcus, when you go ahead real quick, then I'm going to, you know what, Marcus, let my special guest go real quick. Go ahead, my dear sister, 3858. Then I submit, Mark, let the sister go ahead. Go ahead, my dear sister. Go ahead. 30.
I understand what you're saying, that maybe the young man is only a year older than her or whatever, but we also got to educate our young people on where the line is drawn. We can't make a law that says it's okay to have statutory rape in this case and not in that case, because the danger in that is where do you draw the line? Just because you don't, in this case, it might be one person 18, one person 16. I'm just using that as an example. An 18-year-old also could be targeting 10-year-olds. So you don't want to say statutory rape is not as dangerous as other rape, because it very well can be. So we have to educate our young people and say, be very careful, because this is what could happen to you if you're dating someone this age and not this age. So it's up to us to start educating our young people too. And who was the guardian over him that allowed him to go and spend the night in somebody else's house with somebody who was too young for him to be dating? So someone should have said something about that too. Now, if she was allowing him to do all of that and other adults knew she was allowing him to have someone sleep with her daughter in a room, then those adults should have been contacting DCFS and the police, because that shouldn't have been happening either. None of that should
that
be
was happening, because they even went on prom and all of that together, spent holidays and all of this together. I mean, they had a full-blown relationship, so a whole lot of people knew it.
But the people who knew it should have reported it. They should have reported the mother, because that shouldn't have gone on, because actually that's child abuse.
And the girl
to have
was 17
someone,
and he was 18.
but to have someone sleeping in a house together like that, it has to be more to it than just that. Because in 18 and 17, he wouldn't have landed on a sex offender registry.
I think it was 16.
So there had to be.
It was 16.
Yeah,
I
there
think it was
had to
16.
be something more than that.
Yeah, it was 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that issue varies state to state, the laws, because some southern states.
Jamon, I need you to hold it because Marcus is next. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead, because I bumped Marcus.
I just want to say this. You also have the previous person that come in, and she kind of said it for me, but you have young sex offenders. You have maybe there's been stuff in the news, I think in Mississippi, where a 14-year-old boy raped a 5-year-old girl. So you have young sex offenders. Doctor, can you elaborate on that for me? Doctor.
That's a mental issue. That's a mental issue. That is a mental issue. That is a mental issue. All you can say is that's a mental issue. There's something going on. And it's a possibility that they could have been touched and raped themselves. And now they're acting out what they have seen. Big, huge possibility. You know, your parents, you mimic what your parents do. Your parents listen to blues at a certain age, you listen to it too. And you snap your feet and dancing at a certain age. And I'm going to start talking my theories here. Piaget would say at a certain age, or Eric Erickson would say that you start getting into your own mind. They're not into their own mind yet. They're copying off of what somebody else is showing them or what have done to them. Marcus or whoever was next.
Yeah.
Jamon, go ahead.
Should I?
Go ahead.
I think because we're going into so many different pathways in regards to this conversation. One of the major conversations I think needs to be addressed, and I'm glad we have someone that works in the criminal industrial complex or in law enforcement or as a probation officer, is how both our juvenile and our adult penal institutions have created sexual violators and victims over the years, and it's never really been addressed. I can tell you that just like Illinois IDOC institutions for juveniles are being sued because they promoted sexual assault for so many years with the male prisoners, even in the both in the juvenile and the adult systems and the ODI home, the holding system. We have a proliferation of just I overheard girls on a bus talk about, what they doing at all girl parties. All sleepovers, as young as 14 and 15. Just paying attention to their conversation. When we talk about, once again, I just want to make sure that we are aware that it occurs through all demographics. Right now, we're just focusing on the boys. It's occurring throughout all demographics. And I think that we're doing the conversation of injustice without having that whole 360 of this conversation.
Okay, that's great.
I agree with you, but our main focus right now was focusing on Justin Peters to break him down and make sure that he's aware. That he's aware and that everyone is aware that what he has done is incorrect. That is not proper. And when the PO came on, she made every sense because I've been right there with her. Not with her particularly, but I've been right there and I get it. I understand. Of course girls have been violated. Of course these kids is out here having these parties and they are doing some things that I would have never even thought of doing at 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13. Of course they are. But the thing of it is, it's the parents. We all can come to agreement that the parents have to make sure they are watching their kids. They know where their kids are at all times. They have to speak to them. They have to make sure that their kids is not put in an environment that someone can violate them. And then not only that, it's so many variables to this, you guys, that, look at these videos. They raping on the video. They half naked on the video. You know, and they dressing inappropriate. You know, my grandmother didn't dress like that. Your grandmother didn't dress like that. They're half naked. You know, and I'm just saying, you know, it's the parents.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want nobody to say nothing to them either.
Right. I agree with the parents.
No, they don't. Say that again.
I agree it's the parents, no doubt. But I'm just saying that because this conversation.
The parents are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Some of them. Even more so. Where you think they get it from?
All right on that.
I think when we talk about Justin's behavior and pretty much the grooming behavior, it does definitely lie on the parents. But we're talking about how did we take our eye off the ball? How did a group of parents trust him? How did and like I said, Martin, you have a little bit more information in regards to this conversation. You was going to speak on it.
Let's do it now.
How did Justin get in that room?
Okay.
How did Justin? How did the parents obtain the video? How did the coaches of the football team inform Justin his participation is no longer needed?
Okay.
And why didn't it go further?
Mentioned that yesterday.
Well, let me say it again. Okay. How Justin ended up in the room with the boys. The one of the parents on the football team, a football mom, she given her son a sleepover. So she took a couple of the people on the football team. Justin came with some guys and took some people from the football team as well. So they all met up at the hotel. This was back in October 2023. And at that time, we did not know Justin background, but the coaches, I've been told, I haven't said this public, but I'm gonna say this, they had a suspicion that he was gay. You know, they had that suspicion. You know, sometimes a suspicion don't mean it's always correct. But let me just say this. Okay, so how he ended up in the room. So since it was all males, I'm assuming that the mom, I was told that the mom said, hey, Justin, did you hear? You can go ahead and watch him. I'll leave. So she left the children in Justin's care without the permission of the other parents. Now, what you witnessed on the video today, them being in the room and pulling each other underwear and Justin laying on his stomach smiling and all that. Now, only reason why that video got out, actually it was like 4 or 5 people videoing. You could see it in the video. Let me put the video while I'm talking. And the only reason why the video got out, one of the little teens that was inside of that room got in trouble. His mom took his cell phone, and she went through it and she discovered the video. So when she discovered the video, she approached the mother, this is what I'm been told, who she entrusted her child with. Why would you allow this man, you know, this don't look good, you know, watching over children? I gave you my son in your care. So the mother, being concerned, she sent the text message out, sent the video out to the other parents and the 2 coaches as well. So I'm told that the coaches set all the young men down that was in the room and asked them, was they touched? And they all said they was not touched. So this is what I've been told. So the coaches decided, okay, since y'all weren't touched, we don't want you around Justin A. Peters, AKA Chicago Crime Chaser. We don't want you around here. And they barred him from coming to the field again. So that's how that happened. That's how everything happened like that. So that's the backstory about that. Now, and for those of you know that this video clearly shows a grooming. You may not see, which you do not see Justin touching or rubbing anyone. You don't see that. And I'm not saying he didn't do it that night because other video, but I'm basing it on what I see in this video. But there is a grooming. There's a grooming that's being take place. I know you guys don't hear the video, the audio. I still have that. But for the safety of the children, I blurred out their faces and I took out the audio because they was calling each other name each other by their first name and stuff like that. So I didn't want the young people get a hold of this and see and get teased. Oh, y'all was in a room with a pedophile, or I didn't want them guys to get that. So that's why I protected the children. So the video got to me. The video was sent to me anonymously, and the parent that gave it to me, she said she wasn't the parent. It was a friend of a friend, whatever. So she said, we only giving you this video because everybody believes that you're lying on justice. And we want you to take this video and give it to the police. Now, if you're going to share it on social media, make sure you blot out their faces and do not mention our names. So I gave them my word, but I did come on social media and I told you guys that I did have a video. I wish I could show it, but I didn't. I did take the video to the police station. The police told me that they didn't see the video. They just explained to me, well, we have to have a parent to sign a complaint before we start our investigation. But not only that, people, I have receipts. I have text messages. I have text messages as well. So I've never put that out here. So I have those too. Maybe I'll share those another day, another time. So more information.
And as an adult, you should have shut that down.
Huh?
You shouldn't have allowed that as an adult, because I understand the kids, they horseplay and all this other kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's something, if you're the adult in the room, instead of sitting back and smiling and teasing like you think the crap is funny, no, you should have stopped that. Because even if you're completely, let's just say, innocent of everything that everyone says, it just, to have certain things that look like that, it just looks very, very, very bad.
Okay.
Even in the Bible, it tells you to avoid all appearance of evil.
Let me say this.
So what do you think that is?
Let me say this, Roosevelt.
But a sex offender gets off on that.
Yes.
A sex offender will get off on that. They're not going to shut it down. They're not. They're going to get off on that. And that's why when someone gives somebody, see, I never believed in all those sleepovers. That's very dangerous. I'm sorry. It's dangerous. And nowadays, it's more dangerous than it was. My parents never allowed me to go to somebody's house for a sleepover because they didn't have control. We need to understand. I understand you trust your friend, but your friend very well may be the person that tampers with your child. I hate to say that we have to live in a world of fear, but it's a very real world. These parents sent their children over there to her. She left the children with somebody, apparently she doesn't really know. And now the children were exposed in a way that was not good. Because here he is, he's laughing, he thinks it's funny. And next time it gets a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. This is the incident we know about. How many other incidents occurred that we don't know about? And that's what happens with sex offenders. They don't go out originally and just go tamper with your child. They see how far they can go. They see who's watching them. Who's monitoring them.
I want to say this. We got two callers. Okay. I want to say in defense of the parents, of the parent that entrusted Justin, she did not know Justin's background history. She only knew when I broke the story or when the article was floating around social media, she's seen it. So I want to say that in defense of the parent that entrusted Justin with the other children, so the teenagers. So I want to say that. Let's get that clear. So we should not be going hard on the parent, but the coaches have always had their suspicion. Always had their suspicion.
Well,
so
the coaches had their suspicion that he was gay.
Right.
Not necessarily because we don't. I mean, I don't want to be truthful, not associate just being gay with being a child molester,
right,
or a sex offender. But they had his suspicion that he was gay, which should still have raised red flags around children, the same gender.
Okay.
And I gotta say, I'm not saying that I'm hard on the parent,
Go ahead.
but on every parent. when you don't know someone, you don't really know them, you don't know their background, but you were responsible for other people's children. I'm not saying leave yours, but you certainly can't leave other people's children that you're responsible for with someone else because they gave their children to you. And as I said before, a sex offender, before they're caught, they commit that offense about 200 times before they're caught.
Wow.
So yes, they're the most manipulative and most dangerous criminals there are. Of all the criminals that we have, the sex offenders are the most dangerous and the most manipulative, and they will harm you.
Mm-hmm.
We got
They
two
will
callers.
charm, and that's what he did to her. He charmed her. He charmed her and made her trust him. And that's why she was able to leave them kids with him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got a new call.
Martin.
Yes.
Martin.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Martin, just real quick, I have a question. Do we know how Chi-Town CP came in contact with this football team? Because, hey, I know that, when you are entrusted coaches, mentors, or whatever, that they do a background check. How do we know how he came into contact to and able to engage with this football team?
Well, actually, let me say this.
We know that
from my thought, it was the children. That's how he got introduced to it. He was not a part of the coaching staff or anything, to my understanding. So remember, he was saying on his post that he was taking a collection. He's taking some children to the football game. That's what he was saying on some of his posts, and I was hearing it. He was taking, and that's when I came out with a live and said, "You do not trust these." I kept everybody know I went live. I did everything but mention his name. I said, "Why would you let a person that don't show their face take your son and daughters to somewhere?" So this is what I'm talking about. So he met those coaches through the small teenagers, the little small teenagers. That's how he came in contact with them as well. So also, let me just share this, guys, with you. After one of my lives, one of the person that reached out to me told me that some of the young people that was told to stay away from Chi-Town Pete, what's his name, CP, child predator, was told that the young people seen him, and he knew where they be at, where they hang out, and he walked right past them, and he didn't say anything, and they felt that was a little creepy. So, and as my dear sister that works in the courthouse, she'll tell you that some predators will kill children before the secret get out. They'll try to cover up what the dirt that they have done. So this is a real serious matter. And for those of you think this about Martin versus Justin Chi-Town, the child predator, that's not the case. Or Jedediah Brown. Listen, I care less about either one of those guys. All I care about is our children being protected and our community don't be infiltrated with people that's going to take advantage of our young people. And especially, I have a lot in this because I got that name out of the mud. I built that brand, that name. And if anybody out there that want to call themselves a crime chaser, make sure you're not messing with little girls and little boys. Period. If you won't be, you'll be called out. Period. So that's where I'm at with that, Helen. I got two callers. I want to get to them real quick. I don't want to be out. 8140. Go ahead, caller. 8140, last four digits.
Good evening. This is Tasha.
Hey, Tasha, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, yeah, my fine. I just want to just kind of elaborate on a couple of things I've heard. Once again, it's the same old thing, just in case you got some new people listening. And I know that you don't want anybody to come down hard on that mother, and this is not to come down hard on her, but I hope that this is a learning uh, moment for her and others like her. You know, I understand a lot of people need help with their kids, but you got to know how to go about it. You can't just give your kids over to somebody that's claiming that they want to do good. You know, like I don't know the lady that just spoke. I don't know her name, but like she stated about this world, you know, you don't have to be afraid, but you have to be cautious. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical. Being skeptical has saved me many times in my life. Okay, I check out everybody. You have to do that because people that seek to do wrong are heavy opportunists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, heavy opportunists. And I put myself in a lot of positions, you know, as a woman, as a mother, and it's just some things I would not do for fear that if something was to happen, I don't want to be responsible. Okay, I don't want to have to explain to nobody, parents, what happened. I don't want to, you know, be defending myself against some shit, you know. So
Baby,
the
you got to
fact
watch your
that a
language.
man,
We got some babies watching
oh,
tonight.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay, go ahead.
But to watch a grown man, okay, lay up there, you know, you know, people didn't believe what you were saying before, but to have somebody watch that video and fix their mouth to say that that's normal behavior, you know it's not. There's nothing normal about a grown man. First of all, nothing normal about a grown man not having adults not having the authorization of all the parents from those minors, okay, for being there. Every parent should have known that there was a change of plan and that they were going to be there. He, as an adult, should not even felt comfortable being there with them kids, and their parent, and he had not spoken to the parent to get authorization to have them. One person cannot speak for many, you know. So I don't know what type of association he really had with that other woman, but he knew that wasn't right. He knew that wasn't right that he's sitting up there along with them kids like that and their parents don't know. And then in the video, he's on his stomach looking at them, and you can see other boys on the bed with him. You know, like, come on, y'all. If you listening, I know you got a lot of haters listening, but I want you to know that is absolutely wrong. That nothing was right about that video. And then for them to be tugging on somebody's underwear, either if somebody was missing underwear or not, that is highly inappropriate. Let's get that clear, y'all. That's highly inappropriate.
In the
and
dark,
they're in
too.
close quarters with each other.
And in the dark, too.
Yeah, in the dark. I forgot about that part. Exactly. In the dark as well. Close to each other. Young men that are probably going through puberty. Like, come on. And like you say, he's enjoying watching that. Because maybe he ain't bold enough to do nothing right now. You know, everybody's saying, oh, well, there's no claims that he touched any of them. Like the lady before stated, you know, there's some of the very cunning, crafty criminals we have out here. By the time you catch one of them, by the time you catch an adult predator, you can guarantee that they've done a lot more than you can imagine, because they don't come out the gate, you know, just, you know, like a crazy person. They don't come out the gate and just snatch somebody up to do something. It's always gonna be, you know, like they say, it's gonna be a grooming process first. He's in there getting those boys comfortable. He's enjoying the scene, but he's also doing that to get them comfortable, letting their guards down. Because my 17-year-old son, and all his years, he would have never be like that around his friends, let alone a grown man.
Well,
so he's getting them boys comfortable to be around him like that and be seen like that.
Let me say this real quick.
You know, that's ridiculous.
Hold on, my dear sister. Also, I was told by an adult that the teens, they suspected him as being gay, but he always talked about women. So that was their
You know what that's
suspicion.
about.
You know, I'm just saying,
And you know what?
yeah.
And you know what's amazing? Men like that, predators like that, they will try to, they might be able to what's the word, climb the socks off of a woman, so he's probably had a few women in his life just so he can have access to children, so I could imagine he's probably, sitting around talking like like he's but even like I said, even children are not stupid, when they go to school, they congregate with each other and stuff. They know what that sound like. They probably felt like that man be putting it on too much. Okay,
I like to
we're
say
probably
something
able
to
to
that.
see through it.
I like to say that something to that.
Hurry up, I
We
got
do
one more
have to
caller. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Well,
Jermaine.
we just got to recognize something too. With the proliferation of the single mother household and the desire to have some type of male mentorship in their son's life, that is a major opening for letting the wrong person have access to your child.
Right, and that's why you have the majority of women.
That's why you have that football team where it's a lack of fodder participant, fodder coaches, and you got women that's looking to, okay, anybody that can give my son some structure, some discipline can have access to him. And that's what occurs.
And they're willing to overlook everything else because the majority of the people that's speaking against Martin on this, they're women. I noticed that. The majority of women that have a problem with this being, a topic are women. Oh, at least he's doing something. What are you going to do? What are you saying, lady? Like, you can't be that slow. You can't be that desperate.
They're in
you'll be
denial.
willing to send your child, huh?
Well,
they're in denial.
Well, let me say this about this.
I will
You
say
cannot be that desperate. You cannot be that desperate. You might as well hand your child off to the devil if you feel like just because somebody gave them a sucker or somebody gave them a couple of dollars or somebody held their hand across the street. Okay, you feel like these nice gestures are payment enough for putting your children in compromising situations that could affect them for the rest of their lives.
I want to say this too.
You also
Actually,
have
sexual predators.
foster homes that get molested, and you have some single mothers that's on to that. They're not so quick to dump their kids off. It's just that it goes both ways, in my opinion.
Okay, go ahead. 3268. Go ahead.
I was going to say sexual predators look for opportunities like that. They look for mothers who are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
They look for people who are needy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their prime opportunity. They'll come in, they'll see that your child needs this, and they'll come in and they'll offer to help you with that. That's the very person you need to be cautious of. Someone who's willing, when you didn't ask them for any help, to help you with your child. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they look for opportunities like that. Sexual predators look for single moms who are needy. They look for children who are needy. They go to churches because the church is one of the most vulnerable places that children are. They go to those places. They volunteer. And the background checks, that's wonderful. You should do them. But many sexual predators can pass the background check because by the time they get caught, you have done background checks. They've cleared them, but that doesn't mean that they're not a sexual predator. And so we need to be cautious about, why do you want to help my child? Why do you want to do so much? I understand you may need help. I understand that you might be alone. Sometimes women block fathers out of the way because of monetary reasons. Doesn't mean all the time that they're bad fathers. Now, some of them need to be blocked too. But work it out with the fathers. Let them have some contact with their children when they're not dangerous to the child. Let them have some contact. Do you have a brother that is safe, that can have contact with your child? But stop allowing people access to your children that you don't know anything about, that come along, they seem nice. Sexual predators always seem nice. They're very kind. They're con artists. They're snakes, and you have to be careful.
Yes. Okay. I want to ask you a question, my dear sister. Also, this is not hearsay. He was addressing young people as "Good morning, my love." Good morning, love. What
That's
type
totally
of
inappropriate.
yeah. Yeah. And let me just say this too, as well, too, for those of you who didn't know, anything that can associated with children inappropriately or something would be suspect, he took it off his page right away when this came out. He took it off. Even one of these videos, the video that I show, I don't know if it was that video that he had on his page, but he had a video on his page of him in the hotel room with the boys on his page. But when this came out, all of a sudden, the video disappeared. See, and I want to tell the audience that listen to me, and I'm going to go to you, Bill. A lot of you was captured over going live and showing dead bodies and narrating. I mean, I spoiled you guys. Yes, I did. But it's more than crime chasing, just showing dead bodies and crime scenes. So let me say this to you. Don't get caught up in a person for what he's doing and you can't see is wrong. When I was in church, I didn't see no man so holy that I couldn't see him wrong when he got wrong. So we got to be careful, people. And even myself, I was talking to Helen, we was discussing. I said, Helen, if I'm wrong, I got to be held accountable to the community. I can't, even though I'm crime chaser, and I could do crime chasing by myself without the assistance of other people or this podcast, I still have to be held accountable to the community that I'm serving, trying to help. So what I'm saying is, people, we have to hold Chi-Town child predator accountable for his actions. We have to hold him. We have to hold him accountable for his actions. And that goes for any other activist out there that call him or herself that want to serve the community, especially the Black community. You got to get in line. There got to be some accountability for any inappropriate behavior that's going on with our children, period. Or people, period. None of us are exempt, and all of us should be checked when we get out of place. And that type of behavior that was displayed on my live last night, cussing everybody out, saying anything they want to, that's not a leadership behavior. Any man that want to take his life cannot lead me, period. If you want to take your life, you want to take your own life, how are you going to save my life when you want to take your own life? That's not, people, you got to be careful when you listen to people. You got to examine people. You got to watch people. And I told you guys, how a man live in this world is how he's going to die. You cannot live a life of a drunkard and die sober. How you live in this world is how you're going to die. Other words, in layman terms, a tree is known by the fruit it bears. You can't get on a live Facebook Live or YouTube Live and you call women all types of bees and I'm going to slap you, I'm going to whoop you, disrespect your elders and think you're going to lead me somewhere. You are out of pocket, you are out of line, and you got to be held accountable for that type of behavior. When you get to the point when nobody could check you or tell you nothing, you will no longer represent the community, period. And I'm saying this, y'all can tag whoever you want to tag, and I'm saying it boldly, I still stand on Justice's neck. And anybody that stand with him, I'm not standing with you. Yeah. And I'm not the type of guy that tell you, you speak to him, don't speak to me. That's not this situation. This situation is life and death. Our dear sister said that before the average sex offender get caught, they have already committed 250 times. That's scary. And Dr. D said it.
Yes.
She said, this is not his first time doing this thing. She said it. She didn't know that man from a can of paint, but she called it out. And I knew something wasn't right with this man. They said, well, Martin, you're obsessed with the man. You're not the judge or jury. But listen, if I could save a life, if I could warn a parent, this guy is no good for the community. He don't have the community best interest in heart. He have already proven that. Even when he got exposed, he still lied. So let me tell you, Jedediah Brown live in Texas. He don't run nothing here in Chicago, period. I'm saying it publicly, and I'm not saying it behind his back. And I'm not finna play this back and forth girl game. When things not going your way, everybody picking on you, coming at you. You thrust yourself into this, and you got to take the punishment that come with it. Because if that man go out there and violate another person within a time frame that you stood up for him, you bogus, we're going to deal with you. Period. Go ahead, my brother, 630 Bill. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. I want to touch on a few things. Number one, from the coach, and I can't let the parent off lightly due to the fact I've seen a couple videos of Justin.
Martin.
Somebody's talking, Renee. Somebody's talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And clearly, he has feminine qualities. Other people I've talked to said the same thing. I've heard it on here from other people. Number one, and maybe it's just my opinion, is you got gay qualities. You can't be a mentor to no boys. I just can't get down with that. You need to be a man and a man's man. So that was a scapegoat for these parents that allowed, because everybody else see it. What did you expect him to be doing? He not teaching them how to tie no ties or have a strong backbone and taking them to lift weights or whatever. I don't know what they expected for him to really be doing. That's number one.
Bill, let me just say this. Bill, I want to say something real in defense of gay people. Let me just say this. Everybody that's gay is not a pedophile or touch little children. You know, I just want to say
Martin,
that.
I agree.
Okay, I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, all right.
I agree.
All right.
But if you have a personality disorder and you don't know what you are, how could you tell my son what he is? That's all I'm saying. Okay. I ain't got nothing against gays. They can do all of what they can, but with mine, and I would hope others, when it comes to a child needs to know that they are a boy or a girl, a young man or a young lady, or they're gonna sway to that influence that's mentoring them. But moving past that, with this video, is definitely grooming. It's wrong on so many levels. Not only on the level of him grooming them for his own pleasure, I believe that's number one. And kids usually do, and they'll push the limit and do things around people that allow them to do certain things that they think they can get away with. That's number one. no. I've horseplayed as a kid, pals snapping, all of that. That's cool, but wrestling in your shorts and stuff. That's it is. I think is a little overboard. But when it comes to pulling underwear, that's bogus. Ain't no grown man supposed to sit up and see that, know that it's happening, smile about it, and watch it. But on the flip side, not only was he grooming them or enjoying it, it looks like at that particular time, and I don't know what his mindset was, but if you think about it, speaking with the doctor and the parole officer that was on here, he's grooming them to be a sexual deviant because these same boys could take this same idea and be pulling on a girl's panties, and that's rape. That's rape. So, of course, if he never even touched them, just the fact that you're thinking, okay, I'm mentoring heterosexual young men, that's the number one reason not to allow it. Hey, man, no, you don't pull on people's underwear. Because even if they grow up to be heterosexual young men going into manhood, if you get to the point where you think you playing or whatever, and you snatch it on someone's underwear, you'll do that to a girl. And that's wrong on so many levels. That's all I got to say.
Go ahead, Renee. Renee, go ahead real quick. Go ahead, Renee.
Martin, I wanted to ask, is the court person still on your
Yes,
your
she's
live?
still here. Yes.
Great. I want to ask.
Yes, I'm here.
Great. I want to ask a question regarding Justin addressing the children as good morning love in the chat. I appreciate you elaborating on that. My question regarding the event that he had that was for children, and yes, he said there were adults there, and yes, there were adults there. One of the things that I thought was odd in one of the photos he had posted was that even though this was an event for children and NBC5, which opened Pandora's box for him, I noticed in one of the photos that while it was a children's event to talk about what was going on and mentoring and things like that, I thought it was very odd that one of the people that was in the photo was in a bulletproof vest. So I'm not sure how much mentoring or positive of an influence that could have had seeing someone in the same room with you when you're talking about trauma and things like that, seeing someone in a bulletproof vest. And I want to know, too, if you can elaborate more on the comment that he made to the children, that someone had shared a post that Justin had addressed children in a chat after that weekend as good morning love, and all of the children responded with good morning love, good morning love. And then in closing, before you address that, there is a show on the ID channel called Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, that has been discussing the sexual abuse and harassment that happened on a Nickelodeon show in the 1990s. And I think it's interesting what we're discussing tonight, that one of the things they say regarding this event is, it says, Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of TV. And in here, it talks about how they mentored children in television. And I was wondering if you had a chance to see it.
Renee,
Renee,
let her answer a couple of questions. She's just going on, and she probably ain't gonna be able to remember all of it. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. To address some children, hello, my love. That's totally inappropriate. That's a form of seeing how far I can go. How far can I take this? You don't address children as hello, my love. That's totally inappropriate. You don't even address adults that you don't have intimate relationships with as hello, my love. I would not do that. So that's seeing how far can I go? How far will they let me go? She's going to go a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. You say, hello, young men and young ladies. That's what you would say. Or hello, just period. So I didn't see the video you were talking about the dark side. I haven't seen that.
I'll put it up.
Honest, I haven't seen
Put
that.
the phone in front of you. If you got a lap, I can put it up.
Martin,
Okay.
Martin, I'd
Okay.
like to jump in again.
No,
I'd
bro.
like
Let
to
her
see-
hold it, brother. Let her talk. We got our order. We ain't gonna do what we did last night. Let her talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying at some point I'd like to jump in.
Okay. All right.
I haven't seen that video,
Okay.
so I don't know about that one.
If you look on Facebook right now, as we speak, the video is no audio, but you can see it while you're talking. You could just look at it.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one she talked about, the Nickelodeon one.
Okay, Nickelodeon.
I had not seen the Nickelodeon one about the children in Hollywood. I had not seen that one. But what I would say is pedophiles will stretch the limits. They'll see, I got this far this time. Let me see if I can go this far next time. Let me see how far I can go this time. So the hello, my loves, that's inappropriate. That would be inappropriate for me to say on here to a group of adult men. That's inappropriate. You don't address people that way, but certainly you don't address children that way. So that's a form of grooming as well, seeing how far I can go. And each time a pedophile will go a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. Most pedophiles are not going to come out and just start touching you. They're not. They're going to try different things. Now, a sociopath would, but most pedophiles, well, they're sociopaths too, but they're a more manipulative form of sociopath.
Okay. Jabot?
I just want to take a little time. The brother that came on and said that the man had what he'll qualify as gay tendencies and why he would not want him around his children. I mean, as a masculine man, a straight man, and why, and when you talk about hello, my love, we got to also address there has been a very conscious effort by many programs and everything to soften boys.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into Chicago public schools, you go into the park district, you go anything, exposing boys to someone of the LGBT community has been a very big priority. This is not to say someone of the LGBT community is qualified as a pedophile or anything, but exposing our boys to the mannerisms, the characteristics, the behavior of someone as said this is also acceptable in their humanity has also been part of this. So when we look at this guy Justin, he has, he clearly comes off as a member of the LGBT community, but that he's also been as displaying very cunning characteristics or cunning behavior to get access to children. And hello, my love. Well, let's just be quite honest with that. I just don't understand that whatsoever. I mean, one, I don't know how did it get past to any parents or the coaches that because I think you shared some of his text messages in regards to him addressing the youth as hello, my love. I don't know how that got past anybody.
Well, I'll say that correctly. Well, actually, I don't follow his page, but I picked him up in the spirit a long time ago. If I had followed his page and looked at it like a magnifying glass, I definitely would have picked that up. But I knew something wrong because he was always around children. What really gave it away for me is when this New Year's Eve, he was going to a crime scene with little bitty boys, So my thing is a crime scene it can almost cause harm. You can get hurt, you can get killed, depending on the situation. Why would you endanger a child on a crime scene? Now, if it was more like an accident or something or a fire, I understand. But a violent crime scene, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. That's a no-no.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah, Bill.
I'm in full agreement with you. They shouldn't be on any crime scene, but anybody know on New Year's Eve, men or people are with a significant other, or they're alone. As far as chasing crime on New Year's Eve, like that's one of the most dangerous days of the year. To be out alone as an adult, let alone a kid.
Hey, Martin.
Yes. Go ahead, Roosevelt.
Plus the thing is something. Now, I'm not trying to always easily associate, even I know there's one famous Baptist pastor who does associate LGBT with pedophiles. But the thing is, I mean, if anybody hears something, I mean, you can actually Google and read something called the Gay Agenda that was written back in the 1980s. It was written how gay people or something, want to sodomize our children and that kind of stuff. And there was a gay men's choir a couple of years ago that actually made a video talking about that we're coming for your children and, that kind of stuff. And plus the stuff for him to just be saying hello, love, even though I do admit and everything as a man or whatever. And I heard the parole officer say certain speech is inappropriate. Sometimes if I meet people or whatever, like if it's if it's a woman or stuff, I mean like, oh, hey, darling, how you doing? That kind of stuff. It's like more of a term of endearment or whatever, so to speak. But I don't ever talk like that and everything to no children. And no, I would not be carrying on, because I remember this was like years ago, probably around the time I met you, Martin. This was the time that my godson was kind of small. And I guess he heard I was going to a protest or whatever, and he wanted to go along with me, but I said no. Because sometimes with protests, a whole lot of them are peaceful, but sometimes those things can go very, very bad, very, very fast. And, it's already enough of something. Even in a protest situation, you got to look out for your safety and everything, but yet you're responsible then for a whole nother person.
Martin, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Also, pedophiles work in groups. And I'm not accusing anybody on this live, or they may be sneakily listening to this live. I'm just making a statement. Pedophiles work in groups, and they have a way of seducing these young people. They find out what these young people like drugs. If they like to smoke weed, they have the weed there for them, get them seduced, and they can get them to do whatever they want to do. They have a liquor there for them, get them seduced, and they can do whatever they want to do with these young kids, boys and girls.
And pass them around.
Yep, like trophies. And I will say this: I do not agree with this. May offend some of your listeners that get down that way, but I don't agree with you introducing that other lifestyle to children. I just don't agree with that.
And I don't either.
Chicago public schools shouldn't have did what they did. I don't agree with that. And they're trying to soften our black boys and make them feminine so that they can destroy us. That's plain and simply put.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're going to get ready to shut it down. I'm going to go back to Helen. Then I'm going to go down and give everybody 1 or 2 minutes and explain it. We're going to close it out. We've been on here 2 hours and 33 minutes. And it was a peaceful night tonight, but it was an educational moment. We're learning. Go ahead, Helen. Give us your closing remarks.
Yes, Martin. I think you said what I wanted to say, and that was that it was a very educational night for me. Like I said earlier, I've worked with different populations, but I've mostly worked with ex-offenders, but I've never, and some of them could have been sexual predators, but when they came to me, they were just ex-offenders being released. I don't think I've ever worked specifically with sexual abusers or pedophiles. So, just thank you. And I want to thank everyone that's on the call for everything that you contributed tonight. And good night. And it was definitely a good show. Very powerful and full of information that I didn't have. So, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Dr. D. Okay, Dr. D.
I am here.
Let me read that letter. Nitro News just sent me the letter. My dear sister, a lot of you guys know Nitro News. If you don't know her, go follow her. She does a lot of posting for the community. This is the letter. Everyone, good morning, brothers. This is a letter Justin wrote that he took down off his page. We had a great weekend. I want to thank y'all so much for coming to my very first youth event and support. I really appreciate and love y'all for this. TS, for real, I guess. Even though I had to order all Ubers, y'all still came. We went to church. We had fun this weekend, but now it's back to the grind. Have a successful day at school. Just 2 months left, then y'all made it. Please don't lose focus right now, cause them A's and B's going. And the classes y'all struggle in the most, focus on those more. Make sure y'all pray always and stay away from the BS. Be a leader every day. You're a winner even when you're losing, love. That's what Justin wrote in his own words. He took that post down when that video, when his background came up. He took it down. Okay, go ahead, Dr. D. Go ahead, Dr. D. I'm sorry.
Well, as a PO and I have been saying all night to everyone, that pedophiles and predators, they'll do whatever they take to implement themselves into young people's lives. Whatever they want, they're going to try to get it. If it's children, if that's what they want, they're going to get them. That's what they're going to do. So it's up to the parents to take care of their kids, watch them. Do not let this man Uber. See, remember, I want you all to just think about last night, because that was epic last night. Jedediah got on here last night. Oh, it's no proof that he was with no kids on Easter. Now, what did Martin just read?
No, that wasn't Easter. That was that event. That wasn't Easter. That was for that when he had the event. His event. Yeah, that wasn't for the Easter. Now I ain't going.
But it's still. Yeah. But he still have no business being around kids.
Yes, ma'am.
He does not care. He does not care. He's selfish. He's narcissist, and that is how predators and pedophiles, narcissists do. They do not care.
Yes.
The PO, you still on here?
Yes, she's still here.
Yes, I'm still here. Yes, I'm here.
Am I right or wrong?
I agree with you. You're
right
absolutely right.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. I'm going to bring up one person in particular that we all know, John Wayne Gacy. He was very manipulative.
Amen.
He was extremely manipulative. He dressed up as a clown. He got in cahoots with a whole lot of politicians. And he was deadly. What most people don't know is that John Wayne Gacy was a pedophile initially. He had already raped an 11-year-old child back in Ohio. Go look up his background. And people ignored that. They overlooked that. John Wayne Gacy was right there on pictures with Mayor Jane Byrne and a whole lot of other politicians. He was known in the community. He gave. He was right there and volunteering. He seemed like a wonderful person, but he killed 33 young men that we know of. He may have killed more and buried them in his house. So you don't know when it comes to these pedophiles, you don't know. And all I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep emphasizing it with everybody I know, Watch your children. Have conversations with your children. Talk to your children. Explain to them about anybody. Don't let anybody tell you they're going to kill me, they're going to kill you, because they will tell them that. If you tell me anyway. Let me know if anyone makes you uncomfortable. If your children don't want to hug Auntie so-and-so or Uncle somebody, don't make them hug them. There may be a reason. You need to ask them why. Have conversations with your children.
And pay attention to their body movements and their behavior. If you see their behavior changing, something is wrong. If they were talkative before and they all of a sudden stop talking, something is wrong. If you can't get through to them, take them to a therapist. I guarantee you they will tell that therapist eventually. You have to pay attention to these children's behavior. And please, people, stop trusting everybody with your children.
Amen.
Just because that person say they're a mentor, please stop trusting people with your children. I don't trust my brother's not a pedophile, you guys. So let me not throw that on him. He ain't never done that. He would never do nothing like that. I can say that about him. I don't even trust my own daughter with my brother. I just don't do it. Don't trust your kids with anyone. Please. Thank you, Miss P.O.
And people who are responsible, they would never want to be with your child alone anyway. In a schoolroom, a classroom, no teacher is ever left alone with a child. And anybody who has good intentions, right, but anyone who has good intentions would never want to be left alone with a group of children that are not theirs. They would want another adult there as well. And that's all I have to say is be careful with your children. I agree with him, the doctor.
Please.
Trust no one. Don't trust anyone with your children. No one.
Please.
Okay. $36.99.
You never know. And please, hold on, Mr. Martin. Please pay attention to your children's body movement. Please. Don't always let them be on the phone. Don't always let them play video games. Don't always let them watch TV. Talk to them. Go to the dinner table and talk to them. Watch them, please. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, $36.99. You still there? $36.99. Okay, well, we'll go on to the next one. 3507. Go ahead. Closing comments. 5307. 5307. Closing comments. Oh, well. Okay. Come on, Marcus. Marcus?
Well, my closing comments is this. Parents, listen to your children. Know your children. If you know your children, you'll know that the behavior has shifted. Talk to your children. I can tell you briefly how I came up, and then I'm done. I remember one day coming home from school, I was real quiet, and my mother kept picking me. And then I just opened up my mouth and told her I was having a bad day. The teacher didn't do nothing, and she called the school. Some kids, they know that their parents are going to react, and they're embarrassed by the way their parents are reacting. But children, talk to your parents. You should never be afraid to talk to your parents. And parents, some of y'all black parents, y'all don't want to be bothered with your kids. Stop what you're doing. Don't ever be too busy to listen to your children, because you might save some lives. Not just one life, but you'll save some lives if you listen to them. Listen to them, because they got a lot to ask you and a lot to tell you. That's my closing remark.
Okay. Thank you. I guess 3858. I know you've been talking.
I know. And again, I can't emphasize enough about making sure your children are safe. As the doctor said, watch their body language. As the other man said, watch when their behavior changes. That is all very important. I know we talk about background checks and all of that, and that's wonderful, but you still need to be careful. It is not safe. I don't think it'll ever be safe. It wasn't safe even when I was growing up, but it's worse now. Get those phones, get those laptops. Look in, and don't let your children have passwords you don't have. Get in there, see who they're talking to. Have parental control. Don't just let them go in rooms with doors closed. They don't need no privacy.
Sir.
Yes.
Hold it. Sir. One mic. I think that's your mind. Go ahead. Go ahead, P.O. Go ahead.
Oh. And so, don't let your children go off in the rooms and you in another room. You don't know what they're doing in their room. Go through their room. My mother used to come through our room and sweep them like she was the police. Go through their rooms, sweep those rooms, do whatever you got to do in those rooms. Check that stuff. Check those phones. Check those laptops. And have them shut them down sometimes. Shut them down, have conversation. Because you don't know who they're talking to on those phones. And parents, when you're in church, don't just send your children to the bathroom and they go in there alone and you still sitting in there talking to everybody else. Walk to the bathroom with them. There's a lot that happens in bathrooms. Parents, please be careful.
And shame.
Please be careful.
And I'm going to go even farther. What I do with my clients and my patients that especially holler about anxiety, I send them to their PCP. You all do not know what PCP means. That's their primary care physician. And I go and I want them to get a full CBC done. Okay? Because I haven't been talking like this on this platform. So now I'm talking like this. Stop making me. I make them go get a full CBC done. I want their whole blood work. I want to see what's going on with their potassium, their minerals, everything that's in their body. I want to know to see if they having thyroid problems, if that's causing anxiety, if they're having sex. I make them go get pedicures. And the parents be looking at me all upside my head, and I look at them upside their head. This is my suggestion. See, parents, it's not just about talking to your kids. You have to do the work. You the one made them. Do the work. Do the work. Yes. Take them to the doctor on a regular basis. Get them checked out. Make sure. And it's not just about seeing a therapist. You want to make sure that they're physically sound as well. Because if something is going on with them sexually, I guarantee you that PCP is going to tell you. That gynecologist is going to tell you. Somebody going to tell you something. So do the work. You just don't lay up and have kids and just let them sleep for their own. The thing of having children, and I tell my daughter all the time, my best interest is to make sure you become a productive adult and be successful. I do not want my child being put in that position. So parents, please make sure you take your kids to the doctor, not just a therapist, but the PCP. Get everything checked out for them, get their blood work done, and let's see what's going on with these babies, and let's keep them becoming a productive adult. Please, because this is serious out here. I'm telling you guys, just like the PO that's on here, and she done, I can imagine how many cases she done ran across. Can you all imagine how many cases I ran across? This is ridiculous. And it's like it's getting worse. And we cannot keep taking up for people that's taking advantage of our community and our black children. Our children, period.
Shame the devil.
And you heard what she said. Yes, it is. It's getting worse every single day. Every day. And we trying to protect these babies, but we need the help of the parents. I'm done.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. P.O.
Thank you, and I'm done as well.
Okay, 81.
But I want to say thank you, Martin, because this is good. People need to know that.
Because I had a lot, like the brother said. I think, sister, I had a lot of women coming at me against me because some of them probably don't like me, some do. I don't know. But like I said, you may not like the messenger, but listen to the message. And I understand I can't please everybody. I can't make everybody happy. But the main thing is get what you need from this platform and go use it and better yourself and better your life, your quality of your life. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to be laughing buddies. I don't have to call you. You don't have to call me. But the information that I'm giving you from this platform, take it, eat it, gurgitate it, use it. And I guarantee you, you'll thank me later. All right, my dear brother, Jamont. 3268.
Yeah, I'm yeah, but I was
I'm
on a separate phone
3268.
call.
Oh, hold on, bro. I'm sorry.
Hello?
I'm sorry. I did the wrong number. Hold on. Go ahead, Jamont. Go ahead. I took out the
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm sorry. I was on a separate phone call
Okay.
listening to somebody as well. Shoot, I think it was everything been covered. I mean, the major thing is, like we talked about, is coming up with a culture of protecting our children. We want to produce a great product in human beings. Can't do that if we're dealing with someone that experienced an early childhood trauma or a teenage, a preteen or teenage trauma. We're going to have a damaged person that's going to go on to damage other people. So the major thing is coming up with a ruthless culture of telling people that, you know, hey, children are off limits. Plain and simple. What does that look like? It looks like putting the checks and balances in place to make sure that we do our due diligence. You know, children, they don't get there's a limited level of privacy they get. You know, you're gonna have to go. Say that again.
Has joined.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody
Hello?
just joined. Hold on, brother.
Oh, okay.
We really not
I'm
taking no
just
more
saying
calls.
it's a limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, limited level of privacy that we got to give them because you know, all the devices that they have, the phone, there's so many apps that they can be in, so many social media apps that they can be, you know, on at one time. You got to be more you got to do your due diligence, going through, snooping around, looking in the room, looking for signs that, you know, saying what. Of anything that may be perceived as inappropriate, you're gonna have to jump on it, even if it's just a hunch. You know what I'm saying? Just something that's just off regular. I've been working in the community for many years. I've been a mentor. I've seen a lot, but I do not. But I never really worked in a situation where I had to deal with someone that was sexually abused. So I won't claim that I work with that population. As I have been suspicious of one time I was working with a youth, and I just noticed she was extremely aggressive, extremely angry at times, and then it was explained to her. She's a foster child living in aunt's home. She's she has I had two older sons and someone that's coming back from prison, and she just felt under attack at all times. And that gave me a little perspective of that young lady's behavior during that time I was dealing with her in my program. And I imagine that she felt under attack sexually, but I can't. That's just a hunch. I just can't tell you that I worked with that abused population. We gotta look for all signs. I'm gonna wrap it up now.
Yeah, please.
We gotta look for all signs that somebody that a child, an adolescent, a teenager is under threat, and especially sexually. And that's just what I want to say.
Okay. What number I called out? Did I call what? 3268?
Yeah, you called out mine.
Come on, Roosevelt, close out.
Well, I think it's a good epic show as always, and I don't know. I just feel it's something. Even I know the system is just so bad because it just seems like some of the people it needs to punish, it doesn't. I mean, just like Justin Peters, but yet some people who are not as bad and stuff really do get punished. And maybe one of these whole days, like I said, if you could ever find a gentleman who was on here last week talking about his grandson, oh boy, I would love to get an interview with him, most of all. But I would have to say, in closing, like I would have to say also to watch your children and everything, And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if I had a child, especially these day and age, I mean, my child would not have a cell phone because the thing is, I mean, it's open to just about anybody. I mean, you get on a cell phone and you could link, you could do almost anything, whether you want to do good or whether you want to look into something bad. I mean, when I was a kid, if we wanted certain information or whatever, or even let's just say, like, if we wanted to watch, God forbid, pornography or whatever, you have to know someone who knew another one to maybe get a tape and hope and pray your parents wouldn't find out. But nowadays, it's something, everything is on these phones. You can just get to everything, and the whole world is just open to you just through a simple search. So I think that needs to be done to where children, you know, they need sometimes that they don't even need your phone.
Okay,
I mean,
Roosevelt.
like at the dinner table, you know, sometimes they talk and everything like that.
You can't
So,
tell it all, Roosevelt. We got to get out of here. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mike.
All right. All right, Bill, come on. Brother Bill.
I wanna nip something in the bud, because I see it might be coming from the opposition. I don't think that a person's sexual preference being gay makes them a pedophile. That's number one, and I know you don't feel the same way because you mentioned it. And as far as the LGBT, the alphabet crew, I don't think nobody on here, speaking for myself personally, I have nothing against them at all, and I believe you feel the same way, and most people on this that's been on this live tonight, because I can see that coming out to be an issue, and the case in point.
Well,
if not tomorrow, later
Bill,
on down the line.
We ain't gonna worry about that. Anybody from the alphabet community, I love you guys, but I don't agree with the lifestyle. Period. I don't have a hell in heaven to put you.
There
Just
you
period.
go, man.
That's it. You know, that's period. You know, I don't have a hell.
And I think everybody on here feel the same way.
Right. You know, we love, because we all have family members that's probably in the alphabet community, and we love them dear. I know I do. Now, I see you mess with one of my family members, I'm gonna get you.
You know how it go, Mark.
Yeah, I know how it go, but just
you know how it go.
Yeah,
they'll be changing the narrative. Tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, saying that your whole panel.
But let me say this. Personally, I wouldn't want no gay male over my straight son. I'm gonna be honest with you, mentor. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Ain't nothing personal against nobody. Hey, I believe, I stand firm on what I believe, and I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna let you know what side I'm on. I ain't trying to be, I ain't worried. I ain't gonna tiptoe around the truth. I'm gonna stand on it, and whatever punishment come with it, I got to take it. So I'm just telling you, I would want that. And I believe there are people out there, and I've talked to people that are gay, that they don't perform those craft in front of their children, and I respect you for that. I believe that we should allow children to grow up and choose whatever lifestyle that they want to choose. We should not be able to influence and make them choose.
Yes, sir.
Allow them to grow up a child. I believe a child should stay in a child's place, period. And another thing, and I'm going to say this, to all my heterosexual family members and all that, quit dressing these young girls like grown women. Period.
Amen.
Quit making these little 13, 14-year-old girl. I don't care. She's 6'5". I don't care. She don't need no hair down to her buttocks and lipstick and all that, and tattoos all on her neck and all that. Quit doing that. You're selling your daughter out. That's what you're doing. Period. My friend said, hold on, my friend, my friend Nitro News said she love y'all. We love you too, Nitro. She's in the alphabet community. That's my buddy. I love her though. I tell you. That's right. Go ahead, Bill. Yeah.
And now that the cat is out the bag, justice has been the main subject, but as a people, We got to stop harboring your pedophile uncle, granddaddy, or whatever. Expose them. Let them out. Let them out right now. Put them out. Put it out there. Stop harboring them, because there's been a plague in our community for many years, and now that the cat is out the bag, let's go.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you, Bill. We got a last caller. I hope that you on this subject. I don't want to hear nothing else about what we're talking. That's the only thing I want to hear about. 3595. So what's your comment?
So quick.
That's all I wanted to hear about what we're talking about. No politics today. So is that what's your comment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Live.
Okay.
Oh, sir, turn your hold on. First of all, turn your audio
for
down.
years, the black
Hold on, brother.
has been,
Hold on, brother. Turn your
set aside,
young man.
aside.
Hold it,
There's
brother.
no money for
Turn,
resources.
sir. Turn your Facebook down, because there's an echo. It's gonna be a delay. Turn your Facebook all the way down and talk to me through the phone.
Okay, so for years, the black and brown community has kind of been cast to the side, and there's been no funds for community programs and so on and so on. And I don't think the alphabet crew belongs in public schools. I think it should just be education. And we need to remember that they're bringing in all these migrants, and they found billions of dollars for them, but there's no resources for the people that voted these people in the office. And I think it's unfair to us as a black and brown community to continue to let them put us aside and put all this other stuff ahead of us. So you see what Biden did on Easter. Again, nothing against the alphabet crew, but I think it was a slap in the face to all, Christians and Americans to dedicate that day to the transgender. And it's just time that we unite as black and brown, letting them put us aside and putting all these tomfoolery, things ahead of us. Because, like I said, for years, Inglewood, Little Village, these are all communities that have been left to the side, and there's no money, there's no resources. But now these migrants are coming in, so they're trying to replace us and steer them towards the Democrat vote. And like I said, I'm not trying to get political, but I know some people out here agree that we've been put to the side for too long, and we can't let it continue. And I don't think it should be normal for children to be introduced to the alphabet crew like that crime chaser guy. People like that have no business mentoring young children. Children need to be children and just be themselves. And if they decide that they want to do that later on in life, well, then that's on them. So we need to run these people back into hiding because they feel that they can come out freely now and prey on these children. And that's all I had to say. And if I got off topic or offended anybody, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I'm just trying to drive the point that we've been put aside too long, and it's time that we stand up and unite. And like I said, there's an election coming around, so we have an opportunity to stop that and, put ourselves first, the American people.
All right. Okay. Thank you
for letting me tap in.
Okay. No problem. No problem. All right, people. That's it. We're done. I think we at the 3-hour mark. Yeah, 3:02. Appreciate y'all.
Know what it is.
What is it? Live, uncut, unedited.
Right?
Tell the truth. And what?
Unedited.
And shame the devil. I love being black.
All
I
right, good night,
love
everybody.
being black.
Well,
Good morning, actually. It's 12:06. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, all my wonderful guests. Thank you, panel. It was so wonderful tonight. We had less people, but I'll take less people with peace, with all the peace in the world. Thank you guys so